We're being a democracy, and we're telling you that you've got to do the recap.
Randy, check your DMs.
What, my Discord DMs?
Yes.
Oh my god, that is so freaking cool. Oh my god, I love it.
What's up?
Nothing.
Okay.
That's sus.
No, this is all kinds of awesome. So
I'm still sus.
Yes, you are.
I thought you were Russ.
Also, I gotta do this.
Do not make me
I
choke on
can't
my
do it
drink.
for Ella. Dang it, I can't do it for Owlette either. Owlette, hydrate.
What?
Owlette was smart. She disabled her hydrates.
Oh, I don't actually have my chat open. That's a problem.
Trying to grab
Wow,
a
pro
All
streamer right here.
We all are. Okay.
Does Mountain Dew count as a hydrate? Because that's all I've got at the
It
moment.
does. I have stretched and I'm hydrating.
Well, it's kind of a dehydrate.
I have actual water, but I'm not.
That's for the
I
break.
thought you were talking. I thought you were talking to me for a second. I was like, well, that's kind of true too.
Alright, chat, you get to go up there. Hi, chat. I'm gonna cut all of this from the podcast later. That
was a bit on the last minute designing of that, Randy.
That is still awesome, and I really kind of like it. And I'm gonna actually throw it up on my stream right now as just a picture, just to show people.
I'm not
Oh,
looking,
that's
I
awkward.
promise.
I think when I double check my audio on Twitch, it picks it up on my stream, and now there is like, if anyone was listening to that, I am so sorry. It was just echoing into infinity.
I love echoing into infinity.
To infinity
Second
and beyond!
I'm new at this. I can be forgiven.
Of course you can.
Can you though? Are you sure?
Anybody who is
I hope
looking at my
so.
stream will be
Won't
able
be
to see
canceled this early.
the very awesome. I'm just moving it around the screen a little.
But is it very awesome?
I don't know. Check out my screen. You'll be able to see what it is. It's the.
I don't have
be
the
the new-
space.
I'm
That's okay.
scared to open up another Twitch thing now.
Would y'all like?
Can't look
Would,
at it on your phone?
would y'all like to see my current desktop?
No, your desktop scares me.
Yeah, I saw your
Probably gonna
current
be-
desktop.
I don't think I want to know.
Wait, I have your stream up. Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Isn't it?
I'll go-
GG.
And honestly, the colors look so cool. It gives me like total Enderman, like Eye of Ender vibes.
It's like a mix of that and Jacksepticeye.
A little bit, yeah. I've met him. He's very short. Like his head comes up to like my shoulder.
Is
We
my
don't
current
accept the
You
Jack
sure you're not
Blander
just
here.
Oh, it's not slander. I saw him when he
Is it
came to
now?
Toronto. He's only like 5'5".
There's my
Kinda
current
jealous. I
desktop.
didn't even know he was in Toronto.
That is.
This
Oh,
is like
five
your-
foot
this-
five short. That's not short.
When you're a guy, it is.
Oh gosh.
Jack.
I was 5'5" when I was like in 6th grade.
Jack told you to stop slandering him.
Then there's me, 5'7".
Or
but I'm
he
also
said,
a
why?
woman, so-
Why are you?
Last
Why
in
are
6 foot, sorry.
you?
And
And
I'm so sorry.
What's that? Rolled one.
Yeah,
60,
I
100.
corrected myself. I
Aw,
corrected
I'm
myself.
sorry, Ace. 5'4". Okay, well,
Randy, why do you keep rolling?
you're
60
taller than I am.
100s?
I don't know that that counts.
Taller
for
than me
anything.
as well.
I'm 6'12"
And a half.
and a half.
You know,
I land somewhere firmly between Iskall and B-dubs.
that's fair. I land somewhere between Skiz and Mumbo, basically.
Nice.
I think I'm actually the same height as Skiz, to be honest.
mean, people being tall.
I know, right?
Hey, Crow, how you doing? All right, so
Girl.
enough of the silliness and the other fun stuff. And
Oh, now I gotta
reviewed-
do the thing again. I'm kidding.
Getting in trouble with our DM, it's our job.
All right,
Well,
Randy,
think
you
I
want to
rolled
start
six-
us off for real this time?
Yeah, I'll start you off for real. As we ended last week's adventure, you were all staking out the outside of a manor as well as the slave or servant's hut. Very specifically different. You have scouted out the outside. You've noticed multiple security personnel on the main house. No one guarding the servant's house. You also notice the access to a wine cellar on the far, on this map. It would be, I always have to go west side of the building. Waiting for nightfall, Soot, Azizi, and Ash have taken kind of a refuge underneath a tree next to the temple. I would say after 7 days, I'll say that it's now the start of the nighttime. Russ, you are currently standing inside of a bookstore with a Triton bookstore owner as you've been rifling through pages of tomes looking for the right book. Lori and Ember, you two have just been sort of acting. Ember, you've been kind of acting as Lori's personal entourage and private security as the servants of the household have been fawning over her.
All right, back away. Leave some space. Celebrity coming through here.
Well,
You
it's
are a
okay.
celebrity,
I
right?
love signing autographs.
Hi, Ace. How you doing? My audio is desynced? Probably. I have no way to fix it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Aww.
Oh. You mean the
Well, that's
DM can't fix all problems?
I tried rolling dice at it. I tried TPKing my computer. It just didn't work.
Well.
Mm. Means you need a new
Have you
dice
tried
set.
rolling for persuasion?
I did. I rolled a 2.
Intimidation.
I could try.
Worth
Dude,
trying.
Intimidate it.
It should know better. Otherwise, it's going to be not a laptop, but a flying computer.
You have to roll acrobatics for that.
It would.
Alright.
It'll roll. That's for sure.
Roll your computer.
I might.
Is it Adele rolling in the deep?
It is Adele, actually.
Have
Both
you
my
been
monitor.
peeking at my
Both,
set list?
It's falling out of your back pocket. I kind of noticed.
Okay.
You know that whole 14 passive insight or passive perception. You know.
and yet you still tried to take on a. Never mind.
He's with the Empire.
That's fine. So, what would you
I
guys
can
like
take
to do now that the sun is starting to fall? You can
So,
certainly
uh,
try.
The sun is falling. Yeah!
Sky is
So-
falling.
Gosh.
So,
You're an owlin, not a chicken.
so
Does
Ember,
anybody
do you
smell
think you
roast duck in
should-
here?
Ember, do you think you should fetch Russ out of the tentacle bookshop so that we can fill him in on the plan? Just be careful when you go in. We don't need anybody going off like TNT.
Yeah, I could set the whole place alight if I go in there, but I can maybe tap on the window, get his attention. And I want to run over to the library bookstore and just like peek through the window and kind of steaming over the windows as I look through, trying to find Russ. And when I get to him, I'm just gonna knock on the window really like rapidly and try to get you to notice me, signaling you to come out of the building.
Okay,
Em-
first, Russ, I'm gonna get you to roll perception to see if you notice him, because you are looking very, very like frantically through this bookstore. I'd imagine.
Yes. I got a 14, which is
14?
let's see. Let me check that against my sheet.
Yep.
To double check if I have any bonuses on that perception. That make it a 16.
16.
Yes.
You notice him, but it's up to you whether or not you want to actually acknowledge it. I will say, however, I will also get you to go
out of
over
the building.
investigation to
We
see how
beat
well
you.
you've been tearing
Come
through
on.
this store.
Gosh.
Kill me, don't die.
Wait, what?
Was that you coughing and dying?
Oh.
I was making a noise.
I may or may not have gotten a nat 20, so I make it 24.
24. Okay. So you've been looking for which book? Would you mind
He's
describing
looking-
this book you've been looking for?
He's been looking for 2 books. I'm gonna check my notes to see the ones that are missing. One is a detailed used history book, and the other is a newer magic book.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna say, as you've been frantically looking through these bookshelves, you do see a book that just kind of catches your eye off to the side on a tall shelf, which is surprising as you are as tall as most of the shelves in there. This one actually requires you to kind of push a ladder, and you've just noticed that the shopkeep has just been looking at you all excited. He's trying to pull all these different books to try to see what catches your eye. He doesn't get many customers despite being a bookstore, and never one so enthusiastic about looking for what they find. You do find a used history book. I want you to give me acrobatics, because you do have to climb a ladder.
That is true, but can he also use spider climb?
Hey, you want to use spider climb? That is absolutely fine if you want to spider climb up this bookshelf.
That's not going to prevent me from being able to use it later, is it?
It is also starting to get dark, so I'm going to say chances are no. Depending.
I'm going to roll acrobatics. Can't hurt. It's just for books.
Yeah, it's just books.
What's the worst a book can do to you?
Paper cut.
How about a nat 1?
Oh no.
No.
And then I get a 2 on top of that, so 3.
Okay. Still gonna go with the nat 1, but so you
a
do
little
reach for
excited.
this book. You know what? You don't even pull the ladder all the way over. You go to reach for this book. You grab it, you start to just kind of push it forward with your finger, but you've noticed something kind of heavy is on top of it. So you just kind of like lean a little further, and you do kind of fall off the ladder, but you manage to get the book to flick off the shelf. But not only does the book come down, you notice that what was sitting on top of the book. It was a rock.
Ouch.
It's not a very organic looking rock. Actually, it's a rock that has, you count them, 12 sides on it. It's very smooth and polished. But either way, you did pull the book down despite sitting on the floor now in front of the bookshelf, and the shopkeep has run up to you and goes, "Are you okay? I saw you took quite a tumble. Are you okay?"
And he's like, yeah, I'm okay. That's pretty normal, honestly. I can't tell you how many times I've done this. I've done this so many times at a bookstore. It just happens. And he just gets up and he's shaking it off. He's not at all concerned.
Oh, that's fine. The shopkeep looks. He's like, looks like you dropped something. He points at the rock on the floor next to you.
And Russ just kind of tilts his head at and hesitantly goes to pick it up.
Sure. It just seems like a normal, strangely smooth 12-sided rock. I'm assuming you're going to buy that book from him.
Oh, absolutely. He would be buying his book back.
Of course. Here, let me see how much that book's going to... He looks at you and he's a little bit concerned because he did just see you take a tumble off the ladder, and he's worried that you're gonna accuse him of unsafe store or what have you. So he's okay. Just he's like, are you sure? Did you want anything else? Any other books? And he just kind of like he's like, I've got all. You were saying you needed a tome of magic as well. And he just starts pulling out these tomes of Magic for Dummies, Magic 101, how to cast, how not to fireball yourself.
But Russ responds, I'm looking for a very specific one. It's been used. I think it went missing, and I'm seeing if I can find it. I don't know if it's going to be here or not, though.
He just kind of looks a little confused. Do you happen to know the title?
Goodness, casting spells and all the things to it.
Casting spells. I don't think I have. I could order that one from the big city. I could order it from Vivek, but it might take about a week to get here. It's only about it is only a few days travel from here to there, but if you want to, I'll definitely order that for you.
It might be best. I'll probably end up traveling there fairly soon. So, thank you for your time on that. And Russ then adds a couple extra gold to the payment for his history book.
And he takes he looks at him. Oh, thank you, thank you so much. And he just we're unfortunately we are closing. It is getting dark now. But I'm glad you found one of the books you were looking for.
Thank you for letting me go through your store and fall off a shelf.
Any time? And at that point, he's put his books away. He's starting to just sort of clean up as he's closing down his store.
How many gold was that going to run me?
One,
Oh, just one? Awesome.
just one. It's a bookstore. Knowledge is free almost. It's a bookstore, not a library, though. So.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget to add that rock to your inventory.
Oh, I'm going to.
Okay. Now on to, well, Soot. You've been in, I believe, a druidic rest this entire time?
Yeah. So, Soot's just been hanging out with all the little forest critters that came over to say hi, the ones that Azizi has not tried to swat out of the air. So, she opens her eyes and takes a big stretch. This is not at all an excuse for me to do the same.
Perfect timing.
And looks over at Azizi. We should probably regroup with the others.
Of course, dear. And Azizi also does the same. They let out a big cat-like big stretch. You know, like the way that cats do after they've been sitting for too long.
Yeah. So now that they're both all stretched, Ash is actually nearby. Soot looks around and I'm assuming sees Ash somewhere in the air on the ground.
Ash, where are you?
Sitting on the ground.
No, thank God maybe you are a chicken. You're just pecking at the ground, scratching. Like...
Are you good? Everything
Oh,
all
yes.
right? Let's go
Sitting here,
regroup with the others.
waiting. Alrighty.
So from here, I'm guessing you're gonna go. You've already scouted the place around. You know that the most likely location for where you need to go is going to be here. Let me ping this on the map. Near here, near these rocks, there was an entrance that appeared to be on this small wall here.
Okay.
It also is completely guarded in the shadows from the main building here.
Is it approachable from behind? It looks
Yep.
like there's a lot of like cliffs there.
Yeah, these are just more or less hills.
Okay.
So this is just sort of the backyard, not so much backyard, but back area. It's a little bit, it's less grass and more just kind of dirt hill.
Okay. Well, before heading off to go rob rich people, Soot is going to head over to so that they can regroup with the rest of their party. Hey Lori, I saw you had a bunch of admirers.
Oh, you know, the general problems of being famous. It happens pretty much everywhere. We did get some information though. It seems like most of the security is in the main house, but the servants' quarter, and in particular the cellar where they would keep wine and other spirits, may be fairly accessible.
It's a good spot to start.
Yeah.
Mr. Paladin, sir, will you be joining us?
In doing what? Robbing this place? That doesn't seem very noble.
I mean, if you're not comfortable with it, would you maybe just look out for us? Like, keep a lookout?
I'll have my eye on y'all.
It does seem to me that this house may be friends with the Empire, and that's part of how they were able to acquire this drink that we need to liberate from them. And yeah, I don't know about you, but I will definitely be going to help.
Wait, what are we doing? Why are we thieving? What's going on?
We are, going
We're
to
repurposing.
Yeah, we're just reclaiming a few things for one of the local guilds that asked us for this favor, and if we do this for them, that puts us in their good books.
Which guild was
and
this?
Why and what stuff and
Uh.
details? I've been in the bookstore.
We are gonna go steal a bunch of alcohol and maybe smash up whatever we can't carry.
Why?
Well, that was
Because
the
of
point.
Because a bunch of really powerful thieves may have told us to do it.
But why would they want us to do it? What's the whole story? We can't just go smashing people's stuff without the whole story.
See, it's something about this house has been like impeding on their business. I honestly didn't care all that much about the explanation. I was more focused on the fact that I couldn't hear what was across the room. But the spy master the spy master did ask us to get in the good books of the guilds around town, and the Thieves Guild is one of them. So we're just doing what the Empire wants in a very roundabout way that I'm pretty sure the Empire will not actually approve of. Win-win.
But that's all part of our cover. It's part of our performance. It's how we entertain the locals and
I was
buy
gonna
their
say.
support.
I was gonna say, how many of the servants are just like in earshot of this conversation right now?
At this point in the evening, I'm gonna say not many. Most of them you've seen kind of just come and go. It actually seems like they seem to be going into the main house more than going into their own quarters. The ones that have gone into their quarters haven't come back out.
Okay.
Okay,
So
feel free to
it is
gag
the
Soot if she starts saying something out loud that's a bit too loud.
I'll just take Azizi's tail and wrap it around your mouth and like pull you backwards with it.
Yeah, that would work.
That would work. Okay.
So basically,
I don't like
we're
this.
playing along, but we're not playing along. We're doing it in a way they won't really approve of.
No. I don't like this. I don't like this. What if these are innocent people that we're supposed to be doing this from, and we can't assume that the Thieves Guild's motives are okay? What if
We're not
innocent
hurting
people
anyone,
doing
They're
this, and
literally
their
called
income and their
thieves,
Not
things
so-
necessarily
and-
working
I
for
don't
the
like
Thieves
this.
Guild. I mean,
I
we're
can't
also
exactly-
supposed to be getting in the good graces of the guild in the service of keeping the peace.
I mean, for all the details
No,
I've been
but-
given, we're working for Soot right now. And I just look straight down at Soot, like standing at my kneecaps beneath me.
You're not
And
wrong.
Russ- And Russ just kind of shakes his head like, no, I want the whole story first. I want to know what the whole story is. I don't want just one side of it. I know we're supposed to get in good graces, but what's the point of getting in good graces if we're hurting innocent people doing so?
We're not hurting anyone. We're taking a bit of alcohol.
That's hurting them by hurting their inventory. They have businesses to run too, you know.
Oh no, this is a personal
Okay.
stash.
Private.
Here's an important question: do we get to keep the alcohol?
I mean, I was told to steal whatever I could, destroy the rest. If we only bring back a couple and keep a couple for ourselves, no one's gonna really know.
Got a point?
I don't
Part
know
of our
about
finder's
this.
fee.
I don't know.
Of
about
course.
this.
I just don't know if I can be part of this, and I move my guy to like up here.
I don't want to risk getting caught personally. I'll keep an eye out, but I mean, Riss, you're free to
Okay.
join us staying outside.
I want to go and see if I can look into who owns this
Ash is
place
gonna go
and
over
why they would be so
next
angry.
to Ember.
Why they would be so upset about this. I want to know more before
Okay.
I take any sides or anything. Yeah.
What you guys have been already told regarding this household, it is one of the local sort of politicians. The term's the Great Houses. There are 3 great houses. This appears to be just sort of like a cousin or just related to one of the great houses, Hlalu, which is the more mercantile, business-related, sort of attributed specialties of this house. From what Soot did recall, and does remember from that encounter, I will say that they did relay that all they were told was by this lovely gentleman inside of the basement of a club or tavern that they have this alcohol that was supposed to come to them, but for some reason it didn't make it all the way there. And now they found out that it's sitting in the cellar of this noble's house. Unfortunately, that's all Soot remembers of the situation.
There was a little bit of memory fog going on.
And nothing to do with all the alcohol that Soot has tanked in
Absolutely
the last,
nothing to
12
do.
hours.
Most
Mind
of that
you,
was drank after she left the.
That is actually very true. I can't deny that. That was all drank after the fact.
Oh gosh.
That's why
Um,
you should have gone with the half pint instead of the full pint.
Oh gosh. They
I
come in
mean,
You guys
pints?
put a
I
full
can get
pint
some
down in
one.
front of me. I was
That
gonna
is
drink it.
true. That's very true. At this point, Azizi also puts her hand on Soot's shoulder. Don't worry, Soot, darling. I'll make sure to take care of you, and we can get this done together. We're quite the stealthy duo.
Thank you.
Mm.
And Soot kind of perks up at this because she was getting slowly more and more glum as people started leaving the group. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, heck, I just think of flashbacks to the first shop you guys went.
Oh gosh.
You barely stealthed your way in. Meanwhile, Azizi comes in behind you like a shadow of liquid. Just
Just kind of.
I know it.
Basically turned. She morphed into a rug, a mop rug.
Azizi's just like a mom just looking after Soot while Soot's just like stumbling around like a drunken orphan.
I want to toss Samuel up into the air to do one last like couple of circles around the building and see if anything is changed, different, abnormal. The works.
yeah, of course. I'll get you to do investigation for that. I'm gonna in this instance, I am gonna say Samuel is an extension of yourself at this point for this purpose.
Okay.
So that you'd be able to understand what he would relay to you back.
I do speak Celestial, so
Hey, Azizi can talk to Kibo just fine.
you said what?
I-
Investigation?
Yep.
Investigation is a +0, so 9.
9.
9.
There's still guards on. There is still guards on top of the place. You've noticed that as it's been getting darker, there does appear to be the same amount of guards. As I said, it is getting darker, so.
Samuel just sort of lands on my gloved hand and turns to me, and we kind of silently exchange looks. I understand everything he's telling me. I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to go well, is it, buddy?
All right. So now that it looks like you guys are going to be splitting up into 2 teams, the lookout team and the B&E team.
Yeah, looks like it.
About right.
All right. Where is the where is the Overwatch team going to be stationed? Just so I know. What my timer?
Is Overwatch the ones not participating?
Yes, the Overwatch
Okay.
is the ones not participating.
Okay, I want to come up here towards the temple and just start looking
Okay.
around and kind of like monitoring my tattoo to see if anything glows, anything comes up, anything changes.
Okay.
And I will cast Divine Sense.
Okay.
Soot goes up to, why is my brain blanking? I'm so
Russ?
sorry. I was
I'm-
thinking Russ, and then my brain's like, no, it's not Russ, it's something else. Sorry.
See, welcome to streamer life. That's called streamer brain.
Oh
Yep.
no, I hate it.
That's like being on a regular basis. Imagine if I streamed.
Oh gosh. So it goes up to Russ. So I'm not gonna force you to do anything you're not comfortable with, but would you mind being somewhat near the entrance and just keeping an eye out for us?
Russ just sighs heavily and. Okay.
You don't have to get involved with anything you don't want to. All I'm asking is maybe if you see armed people storming our way, yell.
It's like, don't. Okay. And he just kind of makes his way over, and he's clearly not happy about the situation because he doesn't know enough about it.
And the entrance that they are going to be going to is like Right here, yeah?
It's basically right here on this edge. So, realistically, being able to keep a look would be like the best spot would be if you're looking for guards and things like that. Would probably be by these rocks right here.
All right.
Oh, and Ember, your divine sense. It's 60 feet, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The void intrudeth. Help!
20 plus 16. Yep. You do actually detect undead.
Interesting. Okay.
But it's not
as far
rust,
as
is
it is not rust. This is undead that is in the direction of the temple. Particularly inside the temple, you can detect 2 currently.
Well, that's not good. And I just start rubbing at the glowing orange bowstring on my tattoo. And I turn to Ash. I'm like, this building might not be very safe.
Oh?
It's, there's something smelly coming from inside. Smells
Like
like
a
it might have
corpse?
been, corpses can walk around, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna pull over to the. You guys are getting into the basement, right?
Yeah.
So before we get in, I turn over and look at Soot and Cellophane, Madam Cellophane should have been her name, Madam Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through her, walk right by her, and never know she's there.
Nice.
you get it? Where is it? There it is.
Inspiration. Inspiration. Awesome.
It kind of
Amazing.
puffs up.
Feeling invigorated?
Yes. Okay, let's do this.
You're gonna try
Actually, I
to
have
try
no
the
clue what
cellar?
Bardic... Yes, what does Bardic Inspiration actually do for me, though?
Bardic Inspiration.
it-
Within the next 10 minutes, a creature can roll a die and add the number to the roll to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw that they make. The creature can wait until after they roll the d20 before deciding whether to add Bardic Inspiration.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so if I get a really low roll, then that can help with it.
I tried
okay,
that last time. And I got 3 rolls, and I used Bardic Inspiration, and I got a 3.
That's okay. Hey, sometimes
we
people are
needed
inspired. Zizi's also got guidance that I've been instructed to use guidance as needed.
Okay.
Before I switch you guys over. Yeah.
Sorry, so it's gonna check the door, the cellar door.
Yeah, it's locked.
Okay.
You do have thieves' tools now, though.
Yes.
So roll sleight of hand. And if you want to or do not want, you can add your Bardic Inspiration. I believe this way, because it's outside of a combat situation, screw it. If you roll 2d20s and pick the higher number.
So you want me to roll with inspiration?
Yep, basically.
Or inspiration advantage? Wow.
Yes. Well, Inspiration is also advantage, so...
Okay. I guess it's 18 then.
The door basically falls open. You didn't even realize it. I'll be wet. 1 second.
Okay.
Where are you?
And I'm so sorry.
So sorry. This is the
Can
one
I
roll
at
that's
least
gonna
one
go our
DM's
way.
away?
Right.
I have to do that at least once while the DM's away.
Well, we got to get it out while he's away. Otherwise, he's going to
Exactly.
take
Otherwise,
revenge on us.
we're all gonna roll with disadvantage, and it's gonna stink.
We do not need disadvantage while doing this.
No, we do not. So get it out now.
Somebody needs to learn the message spell.
Fan's cold now.
I mean,
Okay. Are my headphones still working?
I don't know. Are they? Quick, everybody slander Randy while he can't hear us.
Okay, I can hear again.
Hey.
Every time I take my
behave.
every time I take my headphones off, they kind of do a little bit of a weird thing.
I behaved myself. Don't worry. I didn't do anything
Oh,
wrong.
I believe you
promise.
did.
I behaved.
And
So
of
it's a
course, there's no
three-man
odds to
entering,
prove
right?
otherwise.
Of course not. As you enter
Whoa.
the basement, you kind of notice something. There's
Uh-oh.
already 3 people down here.
Do
Do
they
they-
look like guards or servants?
2 of them are wearing hoods. One of them appears to be wearing a hood, but is a little bit glowier than the other ones.
Where we enter, do they see us? Where are we entering from?
It depends. You want to roll stealth right away?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
You are going to be entering in the bottom left corner of the map. I will have to make your icons a little bit bigger.
okay, I'll take it.
Whoa,
Okay.
on that stealth roll. Jeez.
Yep. Just give me 1 second. I got to pull up the other character sheet. And... and that was for Azizi.
Can we send some of those extra points over to Lori?
I'm gonna say that you guys sort of enter the area pretty stealthily yourself and Azizi. Lori, you are carrying an instrument, trying to walk down a ladder. You're not the stealthiest, but you haven't made a horrible racket. One of them just kind of does perk up and go, uh-oh. And as they sort of notice you, I'm going to get you guys to now roll initiative, because these guys don't look happy because they seem to be looking for something as well.
Oh dear.
13. Where'd my pencil go? Dang it, I lost the pencil again. There it is, it's
Stop
by my
losing your
feet.
pencil.
Seriously, I'd lose my head if it wasn't up my... Never mind.
See, now this is
We're
what
gonna see that
happens
joke-
without a pre-show warm-up.
We're gonna see that joke and we're just gonna leave it.
Is it just the B&E party rolling initiative, or are we all?
It is just the B&E party right now. However,
Okay.
that'll come in a minute.
Okay.
That's not ominous.
Not at
Not
all.
minutes whatsoever.
So that's an 18, a 13. Jesus. 2 18s and a 13. Another 13. Apparently there's a theme tonight, so... And a 10. Now I just gotta see verse that. Perfect. So it looks like it's going to be Lori last, then Soot, Friar last, then Druid. Okay. All right. Let me just get your guys' characters out onto this into the field.
Oh.
Actually, you know what? You guys are about the right size.
No, we. Should I remove mine then?
Oh, did you put one on? I hadn't seen it yet for some reason. It hadn't popped up.
Yeah, we both dropped him out.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Where's the other one? It's under.
it's out of the room. I was trying to come down behind everybody, so
Okay.
should be...
Appropriately, you guys are kind of the right size by proportion. As I see
we're the
Lori sort of
smallest.
shrinking their icon slightly.
I
don't
need
have to think to shrink
my
icons.
It was already shrunk.
So the way it lined up, this fellow over here in the top right, let's see if I can just get him to do what I need him to do. Hey, you, turn around, stupid. Whoop. He has turned around and noticed you guys. And he is actually going to each square is 5, so 1, 2, 3. I know the measurements are kind of really messed up on this map.
Okay.
All right. That's 3. He's actually going to just run right up to you. Soot. And let's see, what does he have? He has multi-attack. Uh-oh.
None of us are fighters. What are we doing in here?
And this is where I've been told by Azizi to let it all out, so to speak. So at least you have one person who's a spell swinging, mace swinging person. So they're going to take a swing at Soot for their first attack, and then Azizi for their second attack, because they get 2 melees. Does a 17 hit?
My armor class
against...
is 13, so...
So 17 would hit?
Yeah.
Alright, so that's 1d6 plus 2. And that's a total of 5 damage for the first hit.
Okay.
And for ZZ, I gotta stop using their dice. Apparently, Teddy's dice only rolls 17s, so that attack also hits. And ouch. Okay. Azizi has taken 6 points of damage. And now it is Azizi's turn. So let me just 9 to total. Alright. Let's see. Azizi, what do you have? Oh, that's perfect. Azizi.
I'm just eagerly listening while having Starburst.
Having Starburst? Okay.
It's my version of popcorn.
Well, Russ needs to be careful eating Starburst. Like that's
like radiant damage for sure. And ow. Okay, so Azizi hit this fellow. After seeing my friends get hit, Azizi would look to them and just carefully reach out a claw, just kind of scrape it underneath the fellow's chin, say, "Don't you dare hurt my friends." And they're going to do 12 necrotic damage to this person.
Dang.
Jesus. There, okay. And from there, it's going to be the next
scratch fever.
While all this is happening,
alive.
Ember, completely oblivious to all this, is just going to turn to Ash and go, "You see that butterfly over there, that green one? It only lives near water, so if you ever need a drink and you don't have any water, you can just follow it to fresh water. It's guaranteed to get you somewhere to drink."
Life lessons to live by.
Yes, indeed.
At that point, after seeing his friend get hurt, what are you looking at? Oh, there's people. So he is actually, because he is the farthest, he only gets 1 ranged attack, which is going to be pointed towards Lori, and they rolled a 9. I'm assuming 9 does not hit you.
Against armor class? No, I haven't.
Yeah. So they try to aim. It's a little dark in here. They miss their crossbow bolt, and it just sinks itself right into the wall on the other side. Maybe they were aiming for somebody regular height, and they didn't account for the aiming down. So the crossbow bolt, of course, the crossbow bolt goes whizzing over top of your head, and now it has come to this lovely gentleman in the corner who is examining these barrels pretty closely. Doesn't really notice his friends have kind of gotten mixed up in what they have. He's, "What are you idiots?" Oh. He looks to see that his friend has now got necrotic damage tracing the bottom part of his neck. And let me just pull over his stats, because he's a different kind of character. And he has noticed that his friend has taken damage, and he's actually going to be walking right up behind them. Let's see. I gotta pull up a spell list for that. Dang it. Because he appears to have magic. And he is going to be casting Entangle, which is a point within 90 feet. I'm going to assume that this basement, even with the messed up measurements, is within 90 feet.
Probably.
Probably. Oh, DC. Okay. His DC is. All right, so he tries to cast Entangle, and it is a stone floor in here. So you just sort of see the rocks underneath all three of you just kind of shuffle a little. Just a little bit of a. As the plants that and vines that were trying to entangle all of you do not work. He completely horribly missed that the spell. And now it's going to be moving on to Soot's turn.
Okay. I want to try something. I have a bunch of different things that I want to try. Oh my gosh.
I know that feeling.
It's like what to do. Stab the guy or
Call to Russ for help.
that is another option.
That I will say that you can do that. It will take an action, and I will have to get Russ to roll perception to see if he hears you.
Can Soot cast Speak with Animals and ask her pocket rat to go fetch Russ?
Yep, I will definitely say that that's possible.
That rat's gonna take a while to get up there, though, wouldn't it?
The rat would take a little. I'd have to actually put the rat into initiative order, and then there's the fact of would Russ understand the rat?
That's very fair. So
Just my opinion from the outside, slightly. That's all.
okay.
That is fair. To be honest.
Not worth it. Got it.
Cinderella.
So if we yell for Russ, that takes up an action.
It will say that we'll take up an action.
Okay. So it's gonna yell for Russ.
Okay. I need. What's the best way to describe this? I need opposing perception checks. So I need Soot you to roll a d20, and I need Russ to roll a.
Got it. I hope.
Why?
You are in
I
combat,
have
and that is a natural
advantage.
one. You do have the ability to roll that as a.
Sorry?
I got an 11 with my addition to it.
Okay.
So, as a
Yes.
halfling kill, you can re-roll ones.
Yes, you can. You can re-roll ones when you're in combat.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Do I want a higher roll on this?
You basically want to, you want to get a higher than an 11.
Okay, let's try again.
Oh,
There you go.
Hey!
Oh
Thank
yeah,
goodness.
no, you
There we
definitely
go.
yell loud enough for Russ to hear, and I'm gonna say that Russ does hear you quite easily over the scuffles going down. Russ, I will get you to roll initiative.
On it, because he's gonna lift his head up and he's gonna hear it. He's gonna probably swear repeatedly under his breath and try to get down there. And I got a 9.
That actually might work in your favor.
Well, 9 plus 2. No, technically that would be 11, wouldn't it?
So it's technically an 11.
Yeah, technically an 11. Yeah, I forgot that initiative has an addition to it.
All right, so get you to. What's the current initiative? We are on. Actually, Russ, you're going to be coming down the stairs now.
Russ go Neum.
So Russ, I'm going to allow you to pull your icon onto the map.
I'm just gonna go right here, so I'm not.
The question is, before you do this and come downstairs, you are the tiniest. Do you give a signal to either Ember or Ash? Or do you just
Considering how far away they are, and he probably doesn't want his friends to get in trouble, he probably would not. Because he doesn't want anyone else to hear that instead.
Yes, that's perfect. That's the exact initiative order.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Took me a second to type it from my handwritten notes in purple ink.
Better than my mechanical pencil.
I mean,
It's a
and
green.
yes, sorry for not
I
calling
just
out to you
threw
guys,
it.
but Russ didn't think it was wise.
I just threw the pencil.
Stop
None-
losing your pencil.
No.
Nat one. A nat one in real life.
I rolled pencil and lost. Okay.
Was that
So,
sleight of
Russ.
hand or what?
Either way, I rolled my D1. It's just a pool ball with a number 1 on it.
I know, right?
All right, Russ. I can make you a bit bigger if you want.
Please do. He is not the size of a mouse.
You can fit in Soot's pockets.
Russ, the new pocket rat.
Awesome.
Pocket
I'll make
rat
you
or
slight.
pocket bat?
Thank you.
There you go. You are now square sized.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So what are you going to do now that you're down here and have fallen down the stairs gracefully and said, "Hey, what's going on?"
He's gonna notice what's going on, and he's gonna realize that his friends have, unsurprisingly, gotten themselves into a pickle. So what he's gonna do is not cast Eldritch Blast. That sounds like a terrible idea. What he's gonna do. Let's see.
Oh, every time, when in doubt, Eldritch Blast.
No. I'm actually gonna cast Mage Armor.
Sorry, what was that?
I'm gonna cast Mage Armor.
Okay, so that I believe, if you want to just throw that up on the screen, let me just pull that up, see what it does. If I remember correctly, it adds 5 tier.
And I'm gonna go boop.
Mage armor. Now, is that going on yourself or?
On myself for now.
Okay.
How many times can I cast Mage Armor? That's the next question.
I would say probably you can cast it, because as I said, I'm not that serious about the spell slots at this point. I'd say at least 2 or 3 times, but it does
Okay.
take your action every time you do cast it.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
And of course, you have to touch a willing creature with it for it. So, you're casting that on yourself. I assume you are willing.
Yes, of course.
What is your dexterity modifier?
Dex modifier is, let me find 2.
2? Okay, so
Yes.
your AC has now become 15.
Awesome.
Okay. And that's going to come to Lori's turn.
Okay. Does it was both Soot and Azizi that were attacked and hit, correct?
That's right.
And I know Azizi got some pretty good revenge. Does Soot look more damaged than Azizi?
I'm going to say that Azizi is looking a little bit winded but stable.
Okay.
Soot, how are you feeling? Or
Wobbly.
wobbly?
Wobbly.
Very fair description, it sounds like.
Okay. I will. Whoa. This is not what I wanted. Sorry, technical difficulties. Hit the wrong there. Okay.
It happens.
Technical difficulties, please wait.
Yeah, I will look over at Soot and heal what has been hurt, change the fate's design, save what has been lost, bring back what once was mine.
Wow. Is that 7 heal?
Yep.
Okay. So it is probably the best she's ever felt.
Soot's just getting all the benefits today. Free drinks, some bread. Got to watch a bird get swatted.
She didn't watch that. She was meditating. Uh, so it just shouts back, or thank you.
All right, and is that gonna? And that's it for your turn. For
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
which is gonna bring us right back around to the top of initiative, which is this thug who is already kind of feeling a little bit like, ugh. He also notices that he has currently 2 people or 3 people total, if you want to get technical, blocking the stairs.
3.5.
Oh, I was adding the 2 halves together.
Oh well, that's true. That's true. Good point.
And let's see, he's going to be using. Where are we? After taking so much damage, he is actually going to be a little bit hesitant. And let's see. Actually, he has pack tactics. Good to know. He's not a kobold, I assure you, though.
You sure?
He's going to take one. Yep, he's going to take one swing back at Azizi, who took a swing, who basically hurt him. He's going to whiff with his weapon. Realizing that he has missed with his weapon, he's going to use his second attack to disengage. And he's going to book it for the ladder. And he has actually left combat because
Oh,
he doesn't want to die, so he has run away. He's
Howard.
out of. He's a thief. He's not suicidal.
and Rush just kind of grumbles. I lost a potential snack.
Would either one of us outside of the building have noticed somebody not a friend leave the room they entered?
Are you still sitting by the temple?
I was planning on just sort of like lapping the place casually, like kind of like I'm out
Okay.
for exercise in that little glaive behind the building.
Okay. Then, yeah, roll perception.
Perception. Okay.
And it's
Supposed to be good at this, right? I think so.
potentially.
Yeah. +4. So 7.
You don't see anything. You just see the shadows kind of. You heard the door close, but you just assume that because you can't see Russ, you assume that maybe Russ has gone down to check on them.
I'm gonna assume that Ash
Okay.
is following him, but flying.
Yeah.
So that was a perception?
Yep.
15.
Nice.
You do notice a shadowy figure move from the basement door, but it doesn't look like anything familiar. For all you know, it could have been just a weasel or some sort of small critter just running from the door. You just see a shadow sort of dart off to the next building, and it's out of sight. Again, you also don't notice Russ, so you figured that maybe Russ has gone down to take a look to see if everybody's all right. But nothing seems out of the ordinary. It seems like a nice, calm, peaceful night. At this point,
peaceful
it's
fight with the fight night with the fight in the basement.
exactly. It's very relaxing. You guys are enjoying the night outside. It's clear there's not many bugs. You know, you've noticed Ember acts quite like a very good bug lantern. They just kind of get close to him and sizzle.
Hey, snacks!
Perfect.
How long has it been since they went down? Do we know?
About 7 minutes total, from your perception.
Okay.
Realistically, for the people in the basement, it's been 1 minute.
If that timer hits 10 minutes, let me know.
I will let you know if that timer hits 10 minutes. I should hope that timer doesn't hit 10 minutes.
Right.
Well, each turn in D&D takes 6 seconds.
Yeah, that
Oh,
probably means we're all
Yeah.
Very
incapacitated.
dead.
Not just dead.
well, you
Here,
said
Beyond
it's been
turns.
you said
It's
it's been a minute
you
for
guys-
them and like
Yes.
7 for me. So
If you're
what is this
lapping
another?
the building, no, this isn't another situation. I'm saying for you to do the entire lap, it's going to take you 1 minute.
Okay, so three more paths around the building. Got it.
Basically, because it's a good way for you to keep time.
They wouldn't just be dead; they'd be dead enough.
What do you mean they? You're here with us.
I know.
But Russ is already
Deadish.
dead, so
Yeah,
Half
Oh,
dead.
fine.
Get it right.
deadish.
Details.
Slightly dead.
Mostly dead.
Very
There's only one
minorly
thing to do
dead.
when they're all dead.
I'm not
Look in
dead yet.
pockets and look for loose change.
No. True love.
I'm not giving inspiration, but I'm saying that your next roll might have advantage. All right, so it's Azizi's turn. After having noticed that fellow run off, and she just kind of, oh, that's a shame. I was hoping Kellenborg could add his soul to his collection. She's going to look to the one who fired the crossbow bolt at Lori. And where is Azizi's character sheet I had up? There it is. I forgot they have that now. Ooh, big glowy hits. Let me just read what this one does. That's 60 feet. Okay.
I think
Oh,
we
yeah,
got
there's-
that covered.
I think there's might be people in the way.
Well, if they're small people, you
They
go
are
over
small
their head.
people. That
Just aim
is
over
true.
our heads.
You know what? At that point, I will say, Soot, make a dexterity save, but with advantage, because you are really short.
You're not just short.
Really short, but not the short.
Not
Just
the
gonna-
short, yes.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah, you just kind of like lean out of the way, and their attack. I'm gonna say their attack's gonna go just right over your head, even though I believe it should be. You should take technically succeeding on that dex save. I'll say that Azizi is not trying to hit you, so
I would hope
'cause
not.
I believe. Oh no, this is just within range. This is descends from the ceiling, basically. So yeah, a pillar of light is just going to hit this fellow over here. Don't mind that 11. That 11 is nothing. I don't know if you can even see that 11.
No, we can't.
nope.
Good. Good. He's going to take 3 radiant damage.
Do the people outside see the giant pillar of light, or is it localized to the cellar?
It is at this time of year and in this very basement, localized entirely.
Okay, good.
All right. That's Zizi's turn. And it's going to be this fellow's turn who just took this pillar of light that has just hit him directly. He's going to be a little bit bewildered after having taken 3 radiant damage and notice that he's kind of feeling a little shinier than usual. He's going to take another shot with his crossbow, but now having seen Russ join in, he's going to, I can hit this one for sure.
Oh no.
And he's going to take a crossbow shot at you. And he'd already adjusted for trying to hit Lori from the previous turn, so he is already aimed slightly down, and his crossbow bolt just goes soaring and hits right between your legs into the ground. These guys are
Is this
really not.
dagger guy?
This is Dagger Guy on the north side, yes.
Okay.
He's realizing that his attacks are not doing all that much, and he's just going to sort of look at you and just after having launched a crossbow bolt at your feet. Which takes us to, as he's been described, Flame Dude. Flame Dude is actually going to walk over to the people that are in his way. He's actually going to be casting, again, Come on.
Bravo.
I see how this is.
At least it wasn't
Pointing
Jeopardy
out
music.
that the crickets are like the bugs that are, you know, attracted to light sources. You did say that this guy glowed a little bit.
He does glow a little bit. He's attacking at you, Russ. No, I'm kidding. I assume that's Russ making those noises.
I did nothing. I entirely isn't.
If he tries to attack over Soot's head, Soot's just gonna try and bite him.
Trying to bite
I thought
him.
that was Russ's job.
No. Yeah, I was gonna say, okay. Let's see. He's going to roll for his attack. He's attacking with his spell Shillelagh, which is a 15. A 15 does hit, I believe, because he also has a +2. So 17.
But is his
Okay,
shillelagh
now-
in tune?
Is this Shillelagh? Shillelagh is a walking stick.
Who's he trying to hit?
He is trying to hit you, Soot, and he is going to be rolling a 7 for 7 bludgeoning damage.
Ow! There goes half my HP.
Ow.
And apparently all the stuff you were healed a minute ago.
If only that like carried over past the maximum.
Oh, that is some devastating thunder that just rolled through.
Kaboom.
Yeah, it came by my way an hour ago. Have fun.
I mean, it
Yeah.
just poured rain here.
All right, so that's
Just
7 damage,
blazing
and
hot.
it is also very humid here today. So yeah, so what do you like to do after taking 7 damage from a big wooden stick?
Again.
Stab.
You're
Or
going
try
to stab.
to. That probably didn't hit
Stab,
anything.
Stab, stab.
No, that actually does hit him. So roll for the damage on that, or just hit the word dagger. 7 pierce. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Soot is very, very angry.
Apparently,
Understandably.
Soot is a mean drunk.
The alcohol wore off while she was meditating earlier.
Something like that.
So she's mean with a hangover. Got it. All right. At
Who
that
wouldn't be
point,
mean
from
with a
there, it's
hangover?
gonna go to Russ. He is taking a bit of a. I just imagine that you've like stabbed him in the shin or the knee.
That'll hurt, regardless.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what size you are. That's gonna hurt. Russ, what are you doing?
Guy's just
Oh,
missing a big
goodness.
toe now.
Just trying to think of what the best way to do, because got one on one side and one on the other, and now here I am stuck in the middle with a halfling, a gnome, and a cat.
Bravo.
Stuck in the
Something like that.
middle with you.
You know, okay, fine. If all else fails, Eldritch Blast against Mr.
Yes.
Finally,
Yes.
Happy?
Of course,
Eldritch
always.
Blast.
All right, let's see. Eldritch Blast. And boop. Hope that
You
hits.
take the one on the left and say that was the 14. I thought I changed it on everybody's spell card or sheets now. I guess
No,
I
mine
didn't
is still
change it.
broken. Thanks.
I'll change it right now then.
Well, I have a lot of things I need to fix on my sheet, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, but this one I figured out how to fix quickly.
At least there's that.
There, next time you roll, it should just be fine. I am
And
going to go with the... No problem. I am going to go with the 14, so hit for damage. That does hit.
okay, and that's a D4, right? Or is it D6?
Just hit the word highlighted Eldritch Blast.
I hit that word highlighted Eldritch Blast. Wait. Oh, that. Duh. There we go.
Jeez, okay. All right, so yeah, you do 7 hit points of force damage, and if I remember correctly, force damage actually sends him back slightly. He's caught completely off guard after having walloped a small person.
Rude.
and then got stabbed by said small person. So he's kind of jumping up and down, and this crackle of blue lightning just comes shooting out of Russ's hands, blasting this fellow in the chest and putting him back to here as he's completely stumbling back, completely caught off guard, just zapped and singed marks on his chest, looking kind of rough.
Knock him into the barrel.
I know, right?
And from Russ, it's going to be Lori.
All right. So, how good is my line of sight at Fire Dude over there?
Fire Dude, I'd say pretty good. Depending on what part of the square you're occupying, I'll say that if you're closer to Soot, you have a very good line of sight on him.
Okay, so I'm
The two tall people that came with you are not the very wide, tall people.
That's
okay.
insulting.
You have one cat and one Russ, so
Okay.
Not fat and big boned.
sorry, did you say boned or bowed?
Yes.
Gonna wow. I'm gonna use my light crossbow to shoot at Fire Dude.
Sure. Yeah, what do you roll for that?
Sorry, that was damage.
Oh, geez. Yeah, no, you hit him. And you hit him for a 5.
Ouch.
He sees this little tiny thing come shooting out from between both Soot and Azizi's, and he gets caught right in the shoulder with this crossbow bolt. He is wheezing. He is kind of leaning forward and heavily breathing. He is not having an okay time. It's actually going to come completely back around to Azizi now, who, having seen both Soot, Russ, and Lori hit this guy in consecutive blows, is actually going to take a look at this far guy who has been trying to hit them for quite some time now. And they are going to cast Guiding Bolt. Jesus Christ. So she hits him, and she hits him. Jesus Christ.
Is he
No
smoked? Is he
snacks for
good?
you, Russ. No snacks allowed. Goodness.
Sure thing. Azizi just kind of, her eyes light up with a purple glow as she just says, I see you've been trying to hit my friends. Unfortunately, I can't let you do that. And just fires this radiant blast of energy towards the fellow on the top left. And he is going to get hit with this bolt of just pure sunlight, just blasting him in the chest, leaving this trailing, sparkling glow on him as he takes his 15 points of damage. After having get hit by that giant glowing bolt of lightning, or lighting, I should say, he is looking kind of weak, kind of gasping a little, and he's like, I don't care how much the Guildmaster's paying. I am not dying. And he is going to use his entire movement and his dash action to scamper away.
Do we get opportunity attack on him as he goes by us?
The only person who would get the opportunity would either be Russ or Lori, and I don't think either of them have opportunity attacks.
So where did he get to?
Ah, dang. I need to unlearn that Baldur's Gate thing that everyone gets opportunity.
It is a bit of a Baldur's Gate thing. I think it's really typically only rogues and certain fighters who get the attack of opportunity, as well as players running from NPCs, because NPCs don't get death saves.
I thought everybody had it.
What, opportunity attacks?
Yeah. Is it not a bonus action?
It is a bonus action if you have that bonus as an action.
Baldur's Gate lied!
Lied to you.
A little bit. But he's also using his dash action, which does increase his movement to double.
Has
And he's going
Ember
to.
and Ash like made their way around the building again?
I'm actually, as the second one runs out of the building, I am gonna actually for both Ember and Ash to once again roll perception.
23.
13.
Ash, you are kind of distracted with the bugs and other stuff that you've been sort of seeing sizzle on Ember. Ember, you're gonna just come around the corner as you see a shadow darting out from the cellar doors. Just something you don't recognize, dressed all in black in a dark cloak, just dart off towards the shadows. You clearly know that it is not one of your allies.
We have a problem. We need to go. I think they need help. I say to Ash.
Okay.
Oh.
So
And I'm going to rush to the door. You want me to put
all right,
myself
I
on the
need,
map?
yeah, and I'm gonna need initiative from you as well.
I'll be right there. Initiative.
That's a very tiny
Yep, I'm
Ember.
gonna fly over.
Dirty 20.
Sure.
And that's gonna be for me.
Mhm.
A 15.
All right. Put you into there. Ash, I think you're about appropriately sized. I guess I'll put you guys on the stairs. Ember, I'll make you a bit bigger,
Okay.
so you at least take up a square.
Oh, dang, I'm smaller than the smallest.
Rip.
All right, now I got a big bird.
Bigger.
Out of nowhere, dust falls and you turn bright yellow.
Move you a little bit there.
all
right.
the dust all the ash that's been on Ash's
So,
feathers just falls off.
where does that put
So
us in
now-
initiative?
That puts you before Azizi, but it also puts Ash right now.
Ah! Oh no! Oh no! I wasn't prepared.
Because the second thug has just run out of the building, which would have made it Mr. Flame over here's turn. And you can see that he is not looking in good shape.
I was just gonna see this guy and instantly assume, oh, bad guy, and is going to come up here. And I'm going to cast, wait, did I level myself? I did, okay. So I added another spell that wasn't on gosh dang roll 20.
I can add that in afterwards.
Alright, so I have Chromatic Orb, which
Okay.
is, let's see. This one's gonna be a hit. Does a 23 hit?
Yeah, 23 hits. You're hearing double audio from Sierra?
Double audio? Double the me?
Is that better? Okay, that's fine.
Alright, and
That is better. Okay, cool.
I gotta look at Chromatic Orb. Okay, and then
All right, so 23 does hit, yes.
I'm gonna send the description of Chromatic Orb in here.
Okay, you hurl a 4-inch diameter sphere of energy at a creature you can see within range. Choose out.
I'm going to do cold damage, so where's my d8s? I gotta find my d8s.
Trust me, you got this. On a scale of 1 to 1, he has 1 HP.
Yeah,
Oh, rip. Dang it, Russ was gonna go over and see if he could figure out who this guy was working
I still
for
want you to
and why
roll
he
for
was on
damage because I
basis.
want to see how much damage you're doing.
I take this 16 times his damage, so 60.
Oh gosh.
I did 16.
And you said cold damage, right?
Oh, this poor guy.
Okay, so how do you want to do it?
Okay, let's see. So
Yes.
Ash is gonna hold up one of their talons, and the sphere of energy, it's gonna show up blue and feel cold in their talon, and they are going to throw their arm forward and launch it at the guy.
All right. So as you've kind of hopped down off the ladder, you notice this person has just been obviously harassing your friends, and at this point you are going to just summon this single point of energy, blue energy, at the tip of your finger and just cast it towards him. He's going to look at it with his eyes wide and hit him square in the chest with this cold orb of energy. And something out of freaking Mortal Kombat, you are going to just see his entire body start to slowly move and completely freeze before cracking because of the summer heat. And he is going to fall to the ground in a pile of broken ice and gore.
Ah!
And you're going to hear a voice in the back of your head, Ash. Fatality.
Wait, what?
Fatality. And
Get over here. I want to play Mortal Kombat now, dang it.
Uh-oh. What we getting?
let's find out. Here, I'll do this one public for everybody to see. So 40. Because guess what?
I surged!
Chicken butt.
Yeah, yeah. Teddy says for my chat, hey Russ, you want to blow?
A blood popsicle.
40.
Hi, Daddy.
40.
Ash casts magic and Ember just starts going hot, 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 hot. I'm just kidding.
No, you take 10 radiant damage.
Oh no!
Who does?
He hurt himself in his confusion.
Oh no!
Who does?
Ash, you take 10 points of radiant damage.
Ooh.
You are also occupying the same square as Russ.
Ouch.
Oh
Oh!
I am going to, however, say that because this is a wild surge and not directly, Russ, you only take 2 points of radiant damage. Because Ash suddenly just lights up with this glow. They're so happy that they just finally just helped in combat to this extent that you just start glowing and glowing brighter. And all of a sudden, it's like a light bulb being burst. You just light super bright, and Russ is standing next to you. His eyes start to burn a little, and the light, and then you're back to normal Ash. But you have taken 10 points of radiant damage.
Ouch.
She's just gonna like fall down on one knee from that.
Are you still alive from that?
Yeah, say thank goodness! I would be dead if we were still level 1!
Goodness.
That would have been the most interesting
Jeez.
way to go.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
I helped! Pop!
Yay, I helped! Bird go burr.
The room is now clear. That is
This
true,
explosion
and I
of
know
a plume of feathers.
it's kind of like when you see a bird land on a.
You cut out what?
It's like when you see a bird land on a power line.
Oh gosh.
It's like that
And-
one.
Oh.
It's like that
And
one.
Azizi's gonna look at you and say, "Ash, darling, that looked like it hurt." And they're gonna cast Healing Word on you, healing you for 7 points of health.
And Russ is gonna quickly back up and just kind of go eep, because that didn't exactly feel very good.
Probably not. Probably
Shoot,
it
I
could have.
hurt someone again. I'm sorry.
It could have been a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just change his status to dead. So
just
this,
walks up and is like, "Is there any point in looting this guy?"
he is a pile of crushed ice that is slowly starting to melt.
Why do we need to loot people?
Stop literally doing 16 times their health and fatality damage.
Fatality.
I mean, we could just loot the barrels he was rummaging in.
Ember is going to walk over to the pile of ice and, with his hand as cool as he can possibly make it, pick up a chunk and toss it at Lori. Snowball fight!
What is it for?
God.
There was innards on that.
Rush just kind of
I look-
watches incredulously, like, thinking to himself, "This is what Wolf and I would have done a long time
I
ago."
look down at my hand as this ice is steaming off my palm and just go, "Oh, I guess there was," and just wipe it off of my pants.
Did you guys see? There was two more. They ran away. Did you see them?
There were more? I thought we only saw
Yeah,
the
one
one
of them-
leave.
One
Yeah,
of
you
the
guys would have only seen the one leave.
so it's just like there was two that left. One of them said something about the guildmaster. I am willing to bet the exact same guildmaster that I talked to. I'm gonna have some very strong words for that man. Why would he send multiple people to do the exact same job?
This is why this whole thing
Um,
stinks. That's why we should have looked into it some more before we did anything.
Well, we're already here. And now what?
At this point, Azizi has walked over to these barrels, and this is coming straight from my... Yes, posture check, I get it. She's
Is
going to take a
Go full
swing at
Zelda?
these barrels. Like, she's going to take a swing at these barrels and just
A
ask...
swing or a swig?
A swing, and it's just going to look at you before doing this and say, how many did we need to... And then just has their mace up on their shoulder, ready to just sort of demolish these.
You're cutting out again.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yes.
As Azizi starts destroying the barrels, I'm going to go pick up a bottle of the
Sure.
alcohol, and with my unoccupied hand, so I'm probably picked it up and I'm holding it in my left hand. With my right hand, I want to set my fingers on fire and go, we could really blow this place up.
No.
Should we do
no.
that?
Wait, we're in the servant's house. I thought we weren't. I thought, Mr. I thought you didn't want to hurt anyone.
Well,
That
Setting the
might
house on
be-
fire will do that.
That might be helping the Empire a little too much.
I don't think this is a good
immediately
idea.
my
Why
hand
would
goes
you-
out and I just drop the bottle and it shatters against the floor.
And
Well,
Russ
we
is
could have
just
also drank that.
Russ is just face palm in both hands. Like, this is
Well,
a bad
that-
idea. I don't like that. I don't like any of this. We don't have any information about why those people were here. We don't even know why specifically we were here, why they earned the ire of this other guild people. We don't know anything, and yet we're still destroying things. Why?
So
And-
let's just get what we came for and leave quickly. And two of them ran away. We might still be able to find them.
Soot's going to see if she can grab a few more of the small bottles and stuff them into her pockets just for proof that they did this.
So
You get 3
you
bottles.
said there was a specific one. Is that the one that you needed?
That is actually a very good question.
Investigation?
So
You've just stuffed 3 bottles of random stuff into your pockets at this point, but...
I assumed there was
I mean,
only
we-
one
we
alcohol
were-
down here.
We were looking for honey liquor, right?
Yes, it was. Wait. The name was Northern Honey Liquor. So Soot's going to take a look at the bottles that she just grabbed and apparently tell absolutely nothing from that. Jeez.
There is no label on this. It is just is what you were.
Soot's going to take a
if you want
swig.
to roll,
Soot's going
All
to take a
right.
sample and see if she can tell if it's the same one that she was served.
No. I run over and like start to grab the bottle away as she goes to drink it.
I am testing it. I had some of the stuff that they were looking for. I know what it tastes like.
that is true, and I want to get a history check from you.
So I can fill that too.
You know what? You did just have this less than 12 hours ago. I'm gonna say it tastes the same. It tastes a little it's not as chilled as it was in the club, and it's not as not as nice as coming out of a bottle versus coming out of just like the nice elegant glass you were poured it and served it in. But yeah, it definitely has the same taste.
It definitely has like a honey taste to it.
It is sweet, and it has that nice little bit of bitterness at the end. You
See?
think to yourself, it would definitely be chilled and served in a silver or gold glass, but
See, this is the stuff that we came for, and so just sticks her tongue out at Ember.
This
Right.
time, you were right. This time.
this time. All right, so you've grabbed 3 bottles of that.
Yeah.
All right,
Can we also look around the room before we head out?
of course.
Would that be?
Now let's be careful how intrusive we are. I mean, we were only here to get into the good graces with the Thieves Guild, but remember, we're also supposed to be winning over the major houses. So let's
I just kind of want to see
not
what
discard
those.
our hallelujahs.
I just kind of want to see what those other people were doing here. If they were after the same stuff as us, or if there was something else.
All right.
I
would
would
say
like to do an
investigation.
investigation as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does somebody else want to try and?
All right, fine. I'll take.
I have like a disadvantage on investigation. That's not going to end well if I have to do it.
Russ begrudgingly will also try to look around as
Oh,
well.
go Lori!
I got a 10.
So you got a 10. You definitely can tell, Ember. You can tell from around that these guys were rifling around. They were haphazard, sort of flipping things over.
We're catching every
trying to
other
figure out
syllable there,
what's
boss.
what. Okay,
I got
weird.
I got a 17 plus 4 on my investigation.
21. Nice.
And he's probably gonna check over. Yeah.
All right, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, what you basically found with that 10 is they were ruffling things around, throwing stuff around. They were just kind of looking. You're not too sure for what. Lori, from looking around, you can tell that these guys, they did come here with the same purpose of that you guys have arrived. The druid who was clearly looking through these bottles was trying to figure out how to carry as many back as possible. The other ones just appeared to be looking through things at random to see what sort of valuables they could find. What you seem to be able to find are certain things, some wood, some food, stuff that you would typically find in a root cellar. There doesn't appear to be much more other than these casks. Not all the casks even have the same things in them. Some have wine, some have just water, lard, vinegar. Not sure why there's a giant barrel of vinegar, but there is.
Oh,
Hey,
it's
vinegar's useful
good for
like that.
cleaning. All right, so I relay this information to the rest of the group. Like I'm fairly certain that they were after the same thing that we were, and there doesn't seem to be much else here that they were targeting. And I do still think that we got to be a little bit careful. I mean, I feel bad rummaging through the servants' quarters too. I mean, they are my adoring fans, so just intrusive enough to get what needed to be done.
At this point, Azizi is going to look at you and just give well, if that's all you say that it is, dear, and swings their mace completely around, smashing every remaining barrel, because this is what Teddy has actually told me to do.
And Russ goes,
Oh
"Bro."
dear.
They rolled an 18 against those barrels, so those barrels did not stand a chance.
I want to take and find like the most expensive items in the room, like 5 or 6 items, and lay them haphazardly across the corpse laying in the floor.
Remember, the corpse is a pile of mincemeat.
Yes, I know.
Oh, nice.
Okay. 3 of the most expensive items are currently in Soot's inventory.
Well, we'll just
Uh,
forget about those, and I'll help identify the other things that the
Just
from
thieves
what you
were
can
rummaging for 'em.
I'm staging a robbery, okay?
You're staging a robbery. Okay. Unfortunately, you just find sundries, stuff like that, of that nature. With the barrels completely smashed, those were probably the most expensive things in the entire room in general.
Just
If you want
whatever
to
would
kind
be
of toss the place, that's
whatever. So the room's kind of tossed up, right? Like they were messing up the
Yep.
joint, trying to find stuff. They were casing the place. I just want to make it look like the guy we stopped, like, was halfway through getting away with it, and we stopped them.
okay. That's fair.
Basically what happened, but with planted evidence.
All right, so I'm going to say that you're going to just toss some vegetables, some flour. You're going to tip over some barrels. Maybe throw some dishevel or singe some of the firewood to make it look a little more burnt.
Okay. And then,
But yeah, the place looks like a complete like tornado hit it now.
okay. And then I want to take just grab like a handful of rations of whatever we can find out of here, just extra resources. Stuff them in my bag, and then I want to go over to Lori and go, come with me.
Okay.
And I want to go up and find one of the servants, and I'm going to go up to them and be like, we just saw somebody enter the cellar. I've sent my team in after them. I think you're being robbed.
Oh gosh.
Well, we're
Ember
supposed to play up that
still
we're
has
heroes of the
stuff-
town, right?
Ember still has stuff in her pockets.
Yeah, I was actually about to ask, what is everybody else doing when he does this?
Well, Soot has a big cloak on, but she's still carrying and smuggling 3 pretty big bottles.
Cece's going to say, I understand your intentions, but do you think that's a good idea? They will call the town guards. Or
As Ember and I are talking to the servants, could maybe the other small folk kind of slip away while we have their attention? I mean, we have purchased
yep.
rooms.
Yeah, you do. I am going to say that I'm going to need a deception from both of you.
Yikes. Deception?
Deception. Oh, Lord, this is like
nice.
an Oscar-winning performance. The servants are enamored on every given them. Like they even forgot 19. They are going to say that they are so drawn into what they have heard that they haven't even thought to call the guards just yet. However, I will pull you all back to the city map. At this point, I'm going to say that you've all sort of come out from here. And I'm going to say, well, where are you, Ember and Laura? Out front? You just went up to the main door, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I want to be...
Yeah, so that's around here?
Would be on the south side.
Oh, I'm already on the map. I kind of want to just be, like, right here, like... And then, like, I want to really hype up, like, that we were there to save the day. You know, hey, did we get him? What's going on? What's the situation? What do we need to be doing? You know,
And
like
you're-
we're really
and
there
you're-
saving the day.
Oh, all right. The
As the
servants
one-
having heard you. Yeah?
As the one holding all the evidence that they did definitely not save the day, I think Soot's just going to get as far away from the scene as she can.
I'm going to get stealth from you, which, knowing your stealth, probably hopefully will be good.
Why would you set me up like that? Not even low enough for me to reroll.
Guidance.
I know, it's
guidance. Can Azizi do guidance for that roll?
Let me double check the things for guidance.
I mean, my thought is literally, we're supposed to be convincing the town that we're basically gods, so stopping a robbery is a good attempt at that.
As long as one
It
of you
definitely
isn't
is.
currently trying to hide the fact that
Committing
they
the
are the robbers.
robbery.
Good.
And
goodness.
we're multiple gods, so some gods are tricksters as well. You know, there's
Tried it.
multiple angles that we can take this. It's all about the storytelling.
Or and add the number to one ability check.
All right.
Okay.
Roll more
Where
one-
is? Does that help?
So
Gets
that
to an
does
11.
actually help. That brings you to above 10. Because as I said, these servants are incredibly enamored with the performance and deception that Ember and Lori are providing. So I will say that, so yes, you can sneak off without being noticed. However, these guys are going to call the guards. And the guards are going to come and start questioning both you and Lori, Ember.
Okay.
So
Russ is going to kind of try to sneak off to go back to kind of go hang out outside the bookshop in a bit of a huff. He's not happy about the situation.
fair enough. And
The bookshop.
Assisi is also going to sneak off with you, Soot. So
Apparently I
Russ,
need the
also,
help.
apparently you do need the help. Yeah, so after I need Lori and Ember again roll deception because now you have to convince the guards.
Okay, so as the guards are approaching, I'm gonna look over at Ember. There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out of the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out, and I'll lay your stuff bare. See how I leave with every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I would do. There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out of the dark.
All right. Bardic inspiration. All right. So for your deception, and because of that,
D6 is
because of the wonderful performance, I'll tell you guys you have to beat a 14 for your deceptions.
Okay.
Nice.
So I rolled an 11 with a +1, and now I'm going to roll the inspiration die.
Yep.
So 11 + 1 is 12, + 3 would be 15.
All right. So that's a 15 from you. So yeah, I'm going to assume that you're going to let Ember do most of the talking to the guards, because in Paladin, they're going to see him and say, okay, he's a Paladin, let's talk with him. They're going to interrogate you for what seems like a surprising amount of time. While they're sort of getting your questions and asking what went on, I'm going to pull over to Soot, Azizi, and Russ to see, and Ash at this point. I assume Ash isn't still in the basement.
I hope not.
I hope not. Well, you just had a light bulb-like moment, so I'm going to assume that after your little poof of brightness that you have kind of gone away from it now. All right. So what are you guys doing? Are you going to run back straight to the guild? Are you going to go back to the tavern where you guys were set up for the night?
So it looks at the other three and it's just maybe we should rest. I don't know about you, but that was a lot. I think we can deal with the guild in the morning.
And
Russ
Azizi
just
looks
nods
at you.
quietly.
Of course, dear. Anything you want. You were the
Sounds
one
very
kind of in
nice.
charge of this. And I'm
And-
going to say that you guys get back to the tavern fine. Nobody's looking for you at this point. All the guards have sort of established themselves in the at and around the household. They've taken Ember's statement at this point. I will pull you guys all over to the pull you all over to here. And I'm gonna say, hey, look at that. The tavern keeper even kept your table warm for you.
We just need to add a Russ.
And
yes.
coming. I'm tiny.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
you're
Russ.
little tiny. I'll also pull this ember. This ember's an imposter. Pull that ember out of here.
Insert Among Us sound here.
Do, do, do. And soap. I will also uncover. Where is it? Ah, here they are. So you've all been actually have paid for rooms and whatnot. Reveal areas. Unfortunately, they've only really given you the bare minimum of rooms because this is the middle of the kind of road tavern. I've uncovered a small section of the map for you guys to see up on the left. That is the rooms if you want them.
How are we doing lodging? Boys' room, girls' room, 3 and 3. What are we thinking?
Hold on. I did.
Well,
Okay.
thankfully, this is kind of a traveler's hostel.
I don't think that works
style.
very well in my case.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they have a very nice roost for you.
Ash gets a room all to themselves.
Alright.
Well, there is that one room that only has a little bed and a bath in it. The other ones seem to have like a trunk or 2 beds, 1 bed, as you can see on the map.
I'm good anywhere. So it's looking after Azizi commented earlier that was basically running the mission, so it has looked pretty uncomfortable, as if she only just realized that it wasn't just her neck on the line, and that could have ended very, very badly for all of them. So she's just kind of sitting meekly at the table, holding on to the 3 different bottles.
Okay. Let's see.
3 different bottles.
Not trying to drink them, just like hugging them.
Trying. I'm gonna say that this tavern owner, Glug, as I remember his name being, has brought over another pint or another pitcher for you guys, as well as he's counted now an extra glass for Russ, who wasn't with you before. And Azizi is going to look at Soot, feeling a little bit downtrodden, and darling, you don't have to be too concerned about it. I just like to say that we trusted you, and you did a good job. Everybody got out of there safely. At this point, Kibo is also going to run out of Azizi's sleeve and just kind of nuzzle the bottles and you.
Thank you, but that really only went well because you guys helped. The 3 of you who didn't want anything to do with it came in and helped, and I guess I never really had people to do that for me before. So
At this point, you
sorry,
have
and
a
thank you.
Kibo like curled up next to you, just kind of nudging you and giving these small little clicks and chirps. Also, if you haven't looked it up before, look up what a mongoose actually sounds like. It's freaking adorable.
They are so cute.
They
So it is
are.
like trying to free a couple fingers to just give Kibo a couple pets.
At this point, Azizi has also looked at you and said, "You don't have to worry, dear. We are a team after all."
Thank you. I think I'm starting to get that.
And Russ is just kind of sitting there fidgeting with a book in his hand, and just he looks like he has a lot on his mind, and he's got a wave of guilt over his face.
Also, Teddy has been giving me smiley faces in my chat for me playing her character well, apparently.
Yay!
You are doing such a good job.
Yeah, right?
So Russ, what did you find at the bookstore? We kind of forced you out of there pretty quickly, I think.
Russ just looks up, and he's glad to at least have something different on his mind. I actually found one of my books. I found one.
Oh,
Good.
what is it?
It was my history. It was my history book.
History book?
on.
Yeah, it's a history book on. Let's see. Where did I write that down? I wrote it down somewhere, and it's right. Come on, work up here. History of the supernatural and related magics.
Sounds fascinating. Is it original research?
Yeah, some of it. I had the base book to start off, and then I've added so many notes. See, and he just opens the book and flips through pages, and all of them have at least something scribbled in the margins. Some of them have the margins almost entirely full of notes.
Would you feel comfortable sharing some of it with us? Some of your stories and bedtime stories.
Sure.
Bedtime stories.
Yes. Yeah, I like sharing these stories. There's so stinking many of them, and he just starts flipping through and telling stories about all kinds of just obscure supernatural things. Some of them are more well known. Others you probably have never heard of a day in your life, and he knows everything you possibly could about it.
Interesting.
He's a nerd.
You know what? He was very excited about his book. I won't even make you roll for that. I'm just gonna say that you know this book better than you know yourself.
He does. He sincerely does.
And I'm gonna say that you definitely tell them a story. And I'm guessing you guys are gonna go to bed for the night.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess so.
I need everybody to roll Constitution.
Hey.
That's not scary at all.
You better not kill
Natural
me.
20.
Natural
Natural
20!
Not today.
17. 17 with my modifier.
All right. I just have.
22 with my modifier.
Constitution.
Let's see. Constitution.
Are we rolling religion as well?
Nope. Jeez.
So mine would be 24.
And Azizi got a 20 as well. I literally have it marked down. If anybody below 15 has a nightmare, unfortunately, nobody rolled below.
Why do we do
We'll
so
start
good on
the roll
this?
with disadvantage, just to
Don't
make
you
the DM
know?
feel nice.
Don't you know
Oh.
that we're supposed to get past all these really not mattering rolls with flying colors, and then get three rolls under 3 when it really matters? Is that how it works?
On something you're proficient with?
Yep.
You know, we're just that exhausted from the day's work.
You guys are. You are absolutely exhausted, and you all feel like it's a wonderful night. None of you have actually had a bad dream. You all had pretty uneventful dreams, to be honest. Even though Russ has told you some pretty interesting supernatural stories before bed. And I'm gonna say that where's my... Ember has tried to jump scare you guys at least once before bed while telling stories.
And Russ just kind of
Yes.
tilts his head. Just tilted his head. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, no, everybody who
it's
rolled
funny.
that high has just kind of looked at him when he tried to do a jump scare, and it kind of fizzled. It's like watching me run into a ghost event in Phasmo, kind of look at it and laughs.
Goodness.
No one knows how to do a fear.
Yes,
No
nobody did it. No, on this night, nobody.
Nobody did a me.
one. So basically, we have a nobody, not anybody. No one in this entire universe knows how to do a fear.
Oh, is that what you? Okay, so
Oh no!
Um,
Oh no!
Oh no!
Azizi rolled a 1. And they are going to leap at Ash and start a pillow fight. And I'm going to say with that one, they go to leap at Ash. And you ever seen a cat try to jump from one piece of furniture to another, like out a window or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is literally what you're going to just see this 6-foot tall cat person just kind of like tail side to side. And all of a sudden they just look at Ash, who's just strutting around, and they're going to pounce and completely miss and just face plant right into the floor. Right before you guys all go to sleep and have beautiful dreams and wake up the next morning. It is now the next morning. You guys have all woken up in your rooms feeling really good, and Teddy in my chat. I'm sorry I rolled for you. I was using your dice. Blame your
That's what you get
dice.
No, blame the DM. It's always the DM's fault.
Yeah, your dice are cheap. They don't like you. Okay, so it is
What
now
an
the next
insult!
morning,
Your dice are cheap.
They don't like you.
So this is basically a long rest. We can.
You guys are going to experience a long rest. All your HP is
My
going to be
HP
restored.
is
All
back.
Yay!
I know I bought them. Okay? I gotta buy you
Still your
better
fault.
dice then. I'm gonna say you all have taken a long rest. Back up, all stats are restored, all injuries are restored. And it's the next morning, so I'm gonna say I'm guessing you guys are gonna head back out.
Before they
Soot-
head out,
Yeah.
Soot kind of gathers them all together and is like, "So, after all that yesterday, I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to go back to the Guildmaster by myself. Would someone come with me?"
Yeah, I think we could go as a group. But before we do, should Ember and I fill in the rest of the group on how the interrogations with the guards went?
Of course. I'm gonna
Particularly,
say-
did we curry any favor with them, or
The guards were a little bit suspicious of the story because, Lori, with your role, you did try to embellish quite a fair bit, and they are a little bit hesitant to believe that just you and Ember were able to vanquish this one criminal so effectively. But with Ember's...
it's always
Ember's-
play it up? I mean,
You gotta play it
that's
up a little, right?
part of the
You-
showmanship,
Exactly.
clearly.
However, after listening to Ember's discussion, that they do seem to believe you. They do say, okay, in the future, just come to us right away. We will handle this thing. But they take your information down, but they don't really, they aren't suspicious at all. But they do they have noted that there was a person who was trying to commit a felony in the basement of the servants' quarters. They're not, unfortunately, because he is cubed. They can't really interrogate him for obvious reasons. I don't.
He
even
was a
think Speak with
cold,
Dead
hard
works
criminal.
I imagine if someone on our team actually had Speak with the Dead, they would be very frustrated by now, trying to speak with all the corpses that have been utterly dismantled.
I know,
I'm
right?
sorry.
Cast Speak with Dead. What is the
Most of those have been my fault because I overkill.
I know, right?
All I
I
can
seem to
imagine is
remember.
I cast Speak with Dead. What does the dead say? Ah!
Goodness.
I just imagine where like they're trying to piece together, like, okay, this is a jaw. He's missing some teeth. Where's the other half of the head? Okay, how about now? Try it now.
The rest of the vocal cords, dang it!
All right, I'm gonna say that before you
Scientists
guys,
were able to produce one sound. Ah!
it's like when they did the 3D scan of King Tut's they determined what he would sound like,
Goodness.
and it was just the sound of screaming. I'm gonna say before you guys do, because you will be able to all go to. I will get you all to roll for that, but at the moment, because we're just hitting the 2-hour mark, I'm gonna say we take a quick break before you guys go to the Thieves Guild.
Okay, 5-minute
Alright.
break.
Sounds good.
That sound good? I'll be
Alrighty,
back
sounds
in like
good.
2 seconds.
2, 1.
So you guys have woken back up after your night of very restful sleep. You're all feeling quite invigorated. Soot has mentioned that they would like to go back to the guild hall. Azizi has agreed to go with you. Is anyone else also agreeing to go?
I wouldn't mind
He's
checking
gonna
it out.
leave that to them, as his conscience is still eating at him, and he's gonna go back to the bookstore to see if there's anything else in the bookstore he might want.
That's fair.
Well,
That's fair.
remembering what Soot told us yesterday, and how remembering that Soot went in alone, I would like to go along, but kind of hang out outside of the guild and just either keep watch or be on standby.
Okay. So Russ,
Um,
you said you were going to go to the bookstore.
He wants to have some luck in double checking again to see if his copy of his book is just somewhere that the bookkeeper might not have noticed. He really wants to see if one book is there. What about the other? It's bound to be there.
You did notice that while you were in there that this bookstore does seem very thoroughly stocked, and just something about when you look at the sign, it just gives you a very familiar feeling for some reason. You're not sure why, but you do know that this bookstore, there's something about it. It might be the shopkeep being an elf typically not found outside of an ocean, or the weird octopus on the sign. But you definitely feel something is off. So I'm going to say that you can go back to the bookstore with no problem. I'm going to pull everybody back to the main overworld map of the city.
Whee!
As you can see, your guys' tokens are no longer there. Do you remember which building was the guild hall? Soot?
It was this one here.
Yep, okay. So far it's just going to be Soot and Azizi going in. Asher going in, staying outside.
I'm gonna stay outside.
All right. Russ has already pulled himself over to the bookstore.
He gotta go.
That's fair. You know what? While you were there, you were going to notice this is still pretty early in the just opening up the store when he sees you standing outside. He's going to be, Cole, you again. Did you not find everything you were looking for? He's going to just invite you in.
Well, I wanted to do just another quick look around for my specific book of casting spells and all the things to it. My personal book was here. Maybe my other one is here too, because they were both taken from me at one point. I just want to find them again.
He's going to tell you that, yes, he sent out word to the capital major city, Vivek. And he said, hopefully it'll be here within just a few days, but you're welcome to look now. I don't recall that book being here, but... And he's going to shuffle you inside, and you both are going to go and start looking for that book. Soot, I'm assuming you're bringing the bottles with you.
Yes. She is still kind of hiding them in inner pockets. Probably with moderate success, given her size.
Azizi's going to basically be behind you and just sort of assist with you as you need. Don't worry, dear. We've got this. And they're going to head downstairs with you.
I wanted to accompany them.
You do want to accompany them?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to say that you all sort of head down the stairs. Soot, are you going to knock at the door? Because it does appear to be locked. You're not sure. As you guys walk down the stairs, you do sort of notice that the sounds from the street seem to fade away as you walk down the streets or down the stairs.
Before we go in, I want to ask Soot, did they take any of your weapons before you went in last time, or did they search you at all?
No,
Oh.
they didn't search or do anything. I don't honestly. This place feels kind of weird. I don't even know if they would need to. It feels very uncomfy being down there. I don't think having our weapons would help as much.
Okay.
All right.
And then
So
Soot's gonna knock on the door. Yeah.
You do knock. For some reason, knocking on the door, you see your hand make contact with the door, but you don't hear anything. The door does, however, open to a slight crack, and you see just sort of a disheveled, sort of looking ne'er-do-well, for lack of a better term, kind of, oh, it's you. Yeah, we're expecting you. Come on in. and he's gonna open up the door, see both Ember and Azizi standing with you, and look and say, You're not bringing... You have friends this time, eh?
They're with me.
They're with you?
Yep. They go where I go.
That's fair. He's like, all right. That's fine. Just don't try to do anything funny. Trust us. You can't. And they're going to invite you in. And as you
It's
enter
not ominous at all.
It's not at all, right? As you walk in, you are going to notice big open sort of space with tables along the walls with people sitting at it. Smell of smoke hanging in the air. And you're going to see that same table at the far end that you walked to the first time with the same overly indulgent looking fellow sitting at the back, just sort of, I've been waiting for you. Come, bring your friends. Come sit down with us.
Soot walks over to the table and before sitting down, takes the 3 bottles out from inside her cloak and sets them down in front of the man. This is what you wanted, right?
He looks at them, takes the bottle, starts to inspect it. He's like, there's only the 3 bottles, eh? Well, beggars can't be choosers.
We're thieves, not pack horses.
At that word, he does sort of perk up. He's like, you're right. We're thieves, not assassins. I heard you guys ran into some of my boys there.
It wasn't our intention, but they did try to stab us first.
Oh, I know. I am fully aware. But only 2 of the boys came home. You wouldn't happen to know anything about the 3rd, would you?
He was a little less sturdy.
Was it you guys, or, because we do know the guards showed up. It wouldn't have happened to have been you guys that, kind of caused him to not escape, right?
I plead the 5th.
You're Canadian, you can't.
Soot is going to just shrug and I don't know, he was there wasn't really anything we could do about it.
Well, sometimes things happen. But as I said, always keep in mind, we're thieves, not assassins. You want to join an assassin's guild, you gotta look out for them, but we don't deal in that kind of thing. We
don't either.
We get out, and nobody gets hurt.
As long as your people try not to stab my friends, then we're in agreement. But we will defend ourselves.
That's fair. That's fair. If they got a little bit rough with you, get a little bit rough with them. Things happen. Okay. At that point, he's only going to be giving you 50 gold per bottle. But he's like, I feel like you guys did earn this much at least. So that would be actually 50 gold for each of you, depending.
Yeah, so it would split it between them. 3 go in and 3 bottles, so they each get 50.
Yep. He's going to just kind of look at, don't worry, I'll make sure that I'll send word to the other guild halls that you know what's up. And with that, I'm actually going to say the 3 of you get to add a new trait to your character sheets.
Ooh.
Oh.
All three of you now know thieves can't. The language of thieves. Now you can identify the markings on buildings. You can also speak with other people that you suspect are thieves in a direct code so that you can get information directly from them.
But thieves can't what?
Thieves can't say it straight, you know. There's some sly tiger jerking suds on. But yes,
Excellent.
I have now added that to ZZ's sheet. Ember, you feel free to add that to your languages that you traits. I can't remember qualified under.
I just dropped it in from the compendium and it put it in features and traits.
Okay, so yes, all 3 of you now
know 5
understand.
languages.
You now know 5 languages. but you
Yep.
now understand Thieves' Cant and can translate it anytime you need to for fellow party members, both
Nice.
in speech and in the symbols that you've had previously seen on a lot of the buildings in the market.
So would I now know what the triangle with the circle around it and the 3 lines with the slash through it would mean?
And
Yep.
then woo, 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 woo.
Pretty much, yeah. You now know that what that actually means is that this shopkeeper stays up late, but it's good to take from them during the day. And that they don't retaliate, essentially. You also understand the symbol that you had seen previously in Curio's home, the chest with the circle above it, with the line above it, I believe is described, which determined that Russ had translated to say, safe place, guild house. Oh, Lori. I assume that Oh, Lori, you're out now?
Yeah, I'm getting paged. Sorry, I gotta run.
I understand.
Alrighty.
It's okay. I am gonna say though that you have been
Yeah.
panhandling this entire time, and say that you gotten 13 gold while just singing on the street corner.
Perfect. Thank you. I will
Nice.
continue, both now and next time.
All right.
Have fun and catch you all later.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Have a
Good
good night.
night.
With that, I'm gonna. Thieves can't fail. Yes, Ace has said it best. Thieves can't fail.
While we're down there and Soot's like talking, I want to do a divine sense and see is there anything
fails.
that can tell me it fails.
It
Okay.
fails. You try to open up your senses to it, and there is just you don't feel that sort of openness that you normally would. You're not sure why. It almost feels as if this basement is outside of the view of your god.
Okay. Strong magic.
Very.
Huh?
That is some strong magic.
It certainly is. Actually, with that, so did you want to try detect magic?
I mean, is it gonna do anything? Would I just be using up a spell slot?
I will give you this. If you are willing to use detect magic now, I will give you an indication of the type of magic.
Okay. Let's do that.
Okay. You determine normally when you detect a spellcaster, because I know detect magic will tell you the school of magic that this is from. You know that this entire area is magical. But what you are detecting is celestial magic.
Ooh.
Ooh.
It's not directly of any school that you understand normal magic to come from. And divination, it's not enchantment, it's not adjuration. This appears to just be entirely encased in the magic of a god. And you're not really sure the source, but you do know that there is a god that is blocking everything in this place.
Could get the whole full body shiver.
The guildmaster looks at you and says, "Trying to figure the place out, eh?"
Can you blame me? This place is weird.
It is. It's home.
What-
It's your home now.
Would I know that she realized that?
I would say that you do. Your passive perception is what, 12, I believe?
Passive perception is 14.
14? Yeah. I'm going to say that the second Soot casts Detect Magic and has that full body shiver, you certainly know that something is up. And since you are the one who inspired Soot to Detect Magic in Cassius's house, you do know what it looks like when Soot casts Detect Magic.
And get
Would I be
something
able
that is very uncomfy in return.
Would I be able to know which god it was?
Roll religion.
Just a straight roll?
Yep.
Natural one.
You
You
are not
do
the one
know-
to cast detect magic, sir.
Are you sure
You-
it's even a god?
You do know that there is a god that is the patron god of all thieves. However, the name and everything about them sort of escapes your memory right now. You do know
I
that
wonder-
the thieves pray to a specific god, however.
Okay. I wonder what god this is being done. Oh, look, a squirrel.
That squirrel
Basically.
steals 5 gold from you.
A squirrel is a thief!
You are in the
Get
thieves
into the
guild.
basement.
Squirrelkin!
Yeah, pretty much it's a
Uh.
squirrelkin. I'm sorry. You just. Yes, you do remember that there is a patron god of thieves, and you remember hearing a lot of lore about how this god is a god of luck, you believe? But that's all
Okay.
you can really remember. At this
So-
point,
Okay.
at this point, having sensed your apprehension, Azizi says, "Is that all we needed to do here? Should we leave?"
So
And then
if
you notice Azizi has ruffled their mask and their nose, because I assume Azizi is wearing their mask whenever they're in public. I got a text from Teddy saying, "Don't forget Azizi has her mask on."
There you go.
She apparently Azizi only takes, and
You're cutting out.
Yeah.
that better.
No,
That is
no,
a
maybe,
unique
we'll see.
Oh.
kind of marriage right there.
I know, right?
What? Just getting random texts saying, "Hey, don't forget this lore about my character."
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, kind of. But I'm okay
Okay.
with that. All right, so do you guys? I'm guessing you guys are gonna head out.
Yeah, so they've proven themselves to the Thieves Guild. They're officially part of the guild.
You guys, so you are actually officially a member of the Thieves Guild. Your 2 associates have also benefited from the knowledge that you gained inside of that. If any of the 3 of you were to find the same symbol of the treasure chest underground with a circle around it, you know that that is a Thieves Guild safe house. And you will,
Okay.
from this point on, be able to actually contact these people for resources, assistance, but everything comes at a price.
It's exactly what a paladin should know.
Exactly. A paladin should know who you can fence the stolen stuff to.
Paladin's a little bit broken. Can we send it back for a new one?
And we'd like a refund, please.
Okay, I'm guessing that they leave at this point.
I'm going to assume that yes, you guys have gone up from there. You see as you come up, you just giving this amazing performance. Unfortunately, I'm not as much of a singer. I don't have her set list, but you're going to see that people are just walking by, tossing silver and gold. And I'm going to say, as I said, it equates to a mate literally standing out on the street, just sort of just singing and performing for them. Ash, what have you been doing during this time?
We just walk up and
Besides
Lori's
trying
singing
not to
"Dude Looks
lose
Like
my
a
mind
Lady."
over sound. Ash has probably just been flying around over above, scouting the area.
Okay. Actually, you know what? It's a good thing. I'm just gonna get you to give me basic investigation of the town.
Oh,
And then there's Russ, still in the bookshop.
Russ, you are in the bookhouse.
15.
And
I'm getting a lot of
15.
15s tonight.
you are getting a lot of 15s tonight. Those
Can't
are your
say no to
15
that.
die, apparently. What you are going to notice as you are flying around the town, one, you've noticed that people have this sort of pattern to them. You know, they come up to the market, they walk through the market, they gossip. You don't really hear anything all that good. One of the things you do notice behind the Thieves Guild house, there appears to be a guard, an Imperial guard, actually. Speaking with somebody from inside the guild house, you see some money exchange hands. Kind of looks like a bribe almost, but you're not quite sure. You fly away, you see Russ going to the bookstore. Nothing out of the ordinary, everything seems pretty normal. There's guard patrols through the markets, there's people buying things. going about their daily business.
Yes, the guard exchanging with a thief. How normal.
Very normal.
Oh, which way is the bribe going?
Exactly. All you see is them talking to each other. Somebody. It's not often you see a guard in the back behind a building speaking with somebody who looks a little shady. But that's about it. At this point, you guys have kind of endeared yourselves with the Thieves Guild. At this point, what would you like to do?
Steal everything.
Again, we have a faulty paladin.
We have a very faulty paladin. Can we get a refund?
I'm kidding.
I think
100%
all
kidding.
broken.
Oh, is there like an armor shop or something?
There is. You've noticed there's several blacksmiths. There is all kinds of weapons, armor, every other.
Because I don't know about everyone else, but Soot still has 0 armor, and we just got monies. And we got
You
money
did.
from the Spellmaster dude. Or Spellmaster, Spymaster.
You guys did. You guys were all actually given a. At this point, I will say you have spent a night and a couple rounds in the tavern. I'm gonna say that just from all of you to just take 6 gold out of your totals.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's just going to be what you've spent on your just... Can we have a different paladin model? Well, Ace, they can't all be Sin and goodest of boys.
Crow says we should return him.
I say the same thing to Crow in your chat. They all can't be Sin.
Okay, yeah, Soot's gonna go shopping for some armor so that she is less squishy.
Less squishy, okay. Let me just pull up that real quick. What kind of armor are you in the market for? Because there is a blacksmith, however, there is also tanneries. There is also, you know,
Well,
shops for just general clothes. What are
Not
you
only is
proficient
Soot-
in?
not only is Soot teeny, but she also cannot wear anything that is made out of metal or use shields that are made out of metal because druid.
You're
So
a druid.
she's gonna go to the tannery.
Okay. Sure. Okay. So what are you looking for, roughly? You're just gonna look for some nice leather armor?
Yeah, sorry, you cut out a bit at the end, but yeah, she's just gonna be looking around for, like torso, leggings, maybe leather. Is there such thing as a leather helmet?
There is no such thing as a leather helmet, but the way that armor in D&D does work is a little bit better than you'd think. Basically, you can sort of pick whether you want medium armor. You said you can't take metal materials, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do note that certain armors do cause problems for stealth rolls.
Okay. So
So,
she'll
for
be
instance,
looking
if you
for
were to
something that is light.
That is okay. So your options would be padded armor, leather armor, or studded armor for the light category. I'm going to say studded leather as well as leather are about your best options. Padded does give you a disadvantage on stealth rolls.
Okay. So she'll go after the studded armor then and kind of inspect it and inquiry as to how much it costs.
It's the guy's going to look at you. You do find a tannery. He's a genuine, just sort of orcish looking fellow, green skin, just he's got racks of leather just sort of stretched out, and it's actually going to be this one building here.
I
come
am
on.
zoomed out. Oh. Okay.
That one building
for it.
all by itself is going to actually be the leather tannery, simply because it is far. I don't know if you know the process in which leather is tanned, but it uses a lot of ammonia.
Oof. Oh yeah. So this is probably quite smelly as they approach.
Yes, it would be. He's gonna just look at you and say, "Well, we can definitely get you set up with some armor. You're a little bit small. Oh, Teddy, they're on a shopping trip now, after cashing in the at the Thieves Guild. By the way, Azizi now knows how to speak Thieves Can't.
Surprise!
And he's going to tell you, all right, normal armor costs about 45 gold, but given the modifications we're going to have to make, it's going to be about 50 in about half a day's work to get it done for you.
See, aren't I using up less material because I'm so small?
Normally you'd think that'd be the case, but we do have to take a regular set of armor and sort of shape it for you.
And I'd be getting a full suit for 50?
Of course. And it'd be the highest quality you could actually imagine.
45 and you have a deal.
Roll for persuasion.
Watch me get a natural 1. Dang it!
He unfortunately rolled a 19. He is set in he is an orc. He is really stubborn.
She had to try. She will pay the 50.
All right.
Poor
So
girl.
I believe that what that is studded armor is a armor class 12 plus your dexterity modifier.
Armor class 12?
12 plus your dex modifier.
So that would be 15. So does that replace my current armor class?
Yep.
Okay.
Your current armor class now has been bumped up to 15.
Yay!
Oh, Azizi.
Nice.
Okay. Azizi has also sort of requested to kind of go looking around and shopping with you guys, and they have also gained the same amount of money, and they are going to look for a chainmail shirt. And yes, Azizi, if you're listening, because I need your decision, it's going to be 50 gold pieces. This shopkeep is not racist. This shopkeep is a blacksmith who only sees you wearing your cloak as well as your plague doctor mask. So
And
he
he's
has
literally
no idea.
green. He has no room to talk.
Exactly.
And he's probably
this
high off
shopkeep-
ammonia fumes.
At this point, you know what? He works in leather. He works in chain. So I will take. You were given 50 gold for the return of the bottles. All right. Azizi would like to roll to persuade the guard or the shopkeep. It is going to be persuade. And persuasion.
You have permission to throw guidance around. Could you guide yourself?
You cannot guide yourself, unfortunately.
That sucks.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds kind of funny, guiding yourself. Oof.
What did it scroll down? It's almost at the point where he kind of has now seen that you have tried now twice between the two of you to persuade him. He's gonna look at you and go, "You're lucky I'm not even trying to upgrade the price for you after that." You rolled a 4.
Oh, jeez.
He rolled a 10 but still beat it, so he's gonna stay hard on that 50 gold for that. But that will change your armor class to 13 plus your dex modifier, which I believe means your armor class has gone up by 1. So yes. Ember, is there anything you'd like to buy while you're at the shop?
I don't have anything to buy, but I go up to the shopkeep, and so you're a tannery, which I'm sure that means you work with a lot of the more druidic people. Do you know if there's any like druid circles that stay in this area? Do you service any of them? I'm just curious who all's around.
Okay. Now, are you trying to investigate this, or are you trying to just convince him?
I'm just asking questions.
Okay, then I'm gonna go with charisma.
Oh shit.
Anybody
just
that's
a straight.
okay charisma?
Is it just
Straight
a straight
charisma
charisma roll? Okay.
It is.
Ooh, ooh, ooh! Yay! Yes. 19 plus 1, so 20.
All right, a dirty 20.
Nice.
He's gonna. Well, of course, I work with a lot of the druids in this area. I'm one of the few tanneries in this area that actually was willing to serve anybody. And he does go on. He does talk about circles. There's a lot. He mentions there is quite a few circle of the spore druids around here. Because he sort of, as outside, he gestures towards the what appear to be very large mushrooms in the distance. But he's like, it kind of makes sense, right? And I won't sell them any metal. I make sure that all rawhide, leather, not a single bit of metal. But he definitely gives you a bit of the insight onto what is in the area.
Okay. Any idea
Oh.
where I could maybe find some of them?
Druid folk they're a bit of a secretive bunch. They very rarely come into town. They actually prefer to meet me outside of the gates. I could let them know that you're looking for them, but is there any particular reason?
I'm a friend, and I'm just curious who all might be around.
All right, you look pretty distinct. I'll make sure to mention to them the next time I see anybody from there that there is a 6-foot smoldering fellow looking for.
Thank you, my friend.
Oh, Teddy, your mace is in great condition. Smashed a bunch of barrels. Like, rolled an 18 to smash barrels that had a DC of 5. I looked over and saw that on my chat, so I had to give that answer.
Of course.
You're good.
Soot had to run away before she got a mace off the head. She was standing really close to the barrel.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So you don't want, there's nothing else you want, Ember? The information?
Could he
I'm
make...
also gonna... Yep.
Could he craft me a bag that holds like a bunch of stuff, but is not huge?
A bag of
Like
holding.
a backpack?
Like a backpack,
No bag
yeah.
of holding. That like a backpack. Okay.
Or like a saddle bag or something. A thigh pouch, I don't care. Teddy, yes we did. There are at least 2 undead inside.
That he knows of.
Alan! What's up, Alan?
It was just Ember that checked it out. The rest of us have no knowledge of this yet, unless Ember shared with the group.
I told Ash.
It's whether or not Ash has told everyone else. I'm gonna say for 2 or 3 gold, he can craft you a backpack. The way that a backpack works in D&D is it would add an extra 30 pounds to your carry weight.
My total weight or what I'm carrying?
What you can carry.
What I can carry. Okay. What's that gonna run me?
2 or 3 gold, depending on how big you want. I'd say for every gold that you're gonna spend for this, you're gonna get an extra 10 pounds. So if you want to spend 30 gold, you'll get 3 gold, you'll get 30 pounds. If you want to spend 2 gold, you'll get 20 pounds of extra carry weight. Basically, you're paying for the leather it would take to make this bag bigger.
Okay. Let's do 3 golds worth.
All right, he's gonna make you a backpack. He's like, all right. He takes your measurements. He measures your arms, and it'll probably be done around the same time that I get your friends. So about half a day.
Awesome. And I just want like a bunch of pockets. I want it to hold everything really nicely organized. You know, I know
yeah,
you're
he's
going to do
totally
a
gonna-
fantastic job.
He looks very proud of himself. He's like, best job in the city, I think.
What was that? You cut out?
Dang it. I gotta stop moving my head when I talk. I'm gonna say he looks at himself very proud, and of course, I do the best job in the city. I'm the best tanner in the whole city. He is the only tanner in the whole city.
I mean,
I'm sure you are, my friend. Thank you.
it also makes him the worst.
And this
Touche.
is why Russ is a while
This is
away in the
why Russ-
bookstore.
This is why Russ is in the bookstore.
Now, Russ wouldn't have said that out loud. This is just me being snarky.
Where's that
And
roll
maybe
60,
giving filming
100s?
ideas.
Nothing.
Bye,
60,
Teddy.
100s. All right, you're almost finished your shift for the night. Or no, wait, what time is it?
Tool time.
8:50.
9 o'clock.
Oh, Ace, thank you for the call. I didn't realize you hadn't yet. Thank
Good
you so
luck,
much,
Daddy.
Ace.
Have a good rest
Yeah,
of your shift.
she's in her last hour of the day.
You got this.
He does.
You can
And-
do
oh,
it.
Now that she's not watching, tomorrow we all have to remember tomorrow's Teddy's birthday.
Birthday. You.
You.
Yo.
Yo.
Hi, you have a.
What?
Have a
Birthday.
All right, so I'm gonna make sure we all can get at some point figure that out tomorrow for everybody. But yes, back to what we're doing. So Azizi has purchased themselves chainmail. I've already adjusted their sheet for that. Russ, I'm now gonna say that I need you to give me an Arcana or History check.
Wait, Arcana or History?
Yep, your choice.
Oh gosh, it could be either one. Let's do that one. Oh, there we go. Now I can actually select a normal or advantage. Yay.
There. I told you I'd fix it for you.
There we go.
Arcana. You have Eyes of the Runekeeper, correct?
Let me verify. I'm gonna go. I think I do.
Yeah, I know you do, but
Where is it?
it's under your traits or your cantrips, I believe.
There it is. Eyes of
There
the
it is.
Keeper. Found it.
Okay. Damn. Okay. You can read all writing. I'm gonna say with your Arcana check, you're checking through these shelves and shelves of books, but you stumble across something that you didn't see yesterday. And it's as if the words on the spine of this book just glow a brilliant teal light. And it catches your eye from across the room, essentially. And ignoring everything else around you, you just walk to this book. And you pull it off of the shelf. And describe what your history book or your spellcasting book looked like.
It was not the best. It's not a book that was in the best kept condition, but it wasn't in the worst either. It could use a little bit of care at some point. But otherwise, it's a brilliant red book. It's got some gold trim about it, and some of the lettering is also encased in a little bit of the gold trim. It's not real gold, of course, but it looks very nice.
All right. You're going to pick up this book, and as you pick up this book, it looks exactly how you remember it. It is perfect. It's your book. You have found it. However, as you reach for it, you feel that the glowing runes on the side that just said, "I'm here," suddenly appear to go from the spine of the book and slowly wrap around your arm. Almost like a tentacle. It's
Gonna
going to
freak him out.
it's going to creep down your arm to your body, eventually wrapped around your neck and your head. And you're just going to hear a voice inside of your head that just says to you, "I have provided you which you seeked. Try to answer the secrets I keep." And that's it. That's all you feel. Suddenly, you notice that the shopkeep is beside you, touching you on the shoulder. Are you okay? Is everything fine? You took that book off the. I don't even recognize that book. Is that the one you were looking for?
Russ is just standing there, and despite the fact that he doesn't need to breathe, he feels a bit breathless just out of habit. He's like, I'm okay. Yeah, this is my book. Yeah. I don't know why it's here, but yeah. And he's just staring
the
at it
shop the
incredulously.
shopkeep looks at the expression on your face and goes. He leans in very closely to your ear and whispers to you, "Did you hear the voice of the secret keeper?" And then he just says, "Make sure that you take your book home and keep very good care of it. It seems like it's important to you."
And Russ just kind of nods.
And he goes back to doing what he does as a shopkeep. He doesn't even charge you for the book.
And Russ is just bewildered, but then he decides, can I ask you something real fast?
Yeah, of course. Is there something else you're looking for? How can I help?
Not any books per se, but and Russ reaches into his bag and he produces the strange supposed rock from the day before. I found this. I don't suppose you know what this is, do you?
What? Yeah, of course. Anybody who knows anything about magic knows what that is. That's
And
a soul
Russ just
gem.
Russ just kind of goes, huh, and turns it over and I don't. I have to check what this is. Thank you.
Not a problem. Glad that appears to be a pretty high quality one. Where did you get that? Those are pretty expensive.
And Russ just takes a moment and he just kind of internally sighs and tells himself, tell the truth. And so he looks up and says, I found it here actually on the shelf. Was it yours?
No, don't be silly. We don't carry soul gems. You would need to go to a academy or a shop that sells these kinds of things. We don't have those kinds of things in this shop. We're just books.
Huh. Well, if you say so, I'll take good care of it and I'll use it.
Of course, it's a valuable item.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Glad to help. I'm so glad you found the books you were looking for here. Make sure to tell your friends about the Eye of Mora shop.
Will do. Thank you very much. And Russ goes out the door and he's astonished by this apparent soul gem that he feels like he maybe. Well, actually, I will ask. Do you think Russ probably has heard of a soul gem before? Considering.
Roll Arcana again.
Arcana. Boop. And. Dang.
Oh yeah, you know for a fact that you have read about soul gems. You know from looking at it and from the diagram seen that this soul gem is currently empty. But you do know that certain creatures of certain size, origin, beasts, wild critters, can fill these soul gems with their spirits when downed in combat, when they die of natural causes, as long as the soul gem is in proximity to them. And the owner of the gem is the one who is responsible for what happened to them.
Fascinating.
You do also know, with a 25, by the way, which is really freaking good.
That's my boy.
You know that soul gems are strongly used in recreating spell scrolls, as well as enchanting of items, recharging enchantments on items, and just the general creation of magical things. That the stronger and the rarer the soul gem, the better the magic that it can imbue. But to trap a strong soul into a strong soul gem, you need to sacrifice something. Typically, it's the life of a beast or something else.
I could say he doesn't necessarily want to do that yet.
Bag of holding coming soon.
TM.
You also know that soul gems
I
are
did
graded.
just buy a backpack.
You did just buy a backpack, and you just were told that this gem, which I believe I said your gem has 12 sides to it.
Yeah.
This would make it a greater soul gem.
The one that Soot has also has 12 sides, so no one else but her knows that she has it yet, because she just kind of stuffed it in a pocket.
So 2 members have soul gems.
Wow. Awesome. Well, Russ is gonna be pretty doggone excited. Not only does he have his book, he has a soul gem. A pretty good one, too.
Nice.
Yay.
All right, I'm going to assume that Russ has left the shop, and are you going to go shopping with them as well?
I think
They
he
are
will.
current. You will? Okay, he is
I
current.
think-
They are. I'm going to say that you're pretty good at following the smell of dirt and singe, as well as cat fur.
Yes.
So I'm going to say because of your senses, you do find it very quick.
Yeah.
You are able to find them within a couple seconds. You know exactly where they are.
The 3 of us must be an unholy concoction to anybody with heightened sense of smell.
Ah.
I
Just
can imagine. I can
softly
certainly imagine.
burning cat hair and dirt.
Apparently,
And the ammonia from the
from
leather
from the tannery. Seriously, this is like bordering on the edge of war crime territory. I'm gonna say that also that the tanner, when seeing Ember approach, was a little bit, but I don't.
Was a little bit
you
hesitant
cut
to
out
what?
there.
I don't remember
cut
how
out.
flammable. I don't remember how flammable ammonia.
It's rather flammable to my knowledge.
Yeah. So.
Hi,
Ash,
shopkeep.
since
How
you've
you
been
doing?
just-
Boom.
Hmm.
Since you've been flying around, did you want to join them? What are they doing?
That cut out.
Did you want to join them in the shopping they're doing?
Sure.
I think I know why it's cutting out. Is because my exhaust fan is pointed right at my head,
That would do it.
so it's been
Yep.
heating up my cord this entire time.
That's
I just
fast.
touched it. I was like, wow, this feels like it's melting.
Let's not
Wow.
Well, when you're running a laptop with 2 monitors.
do that. I feel that. Mine is doing the same thing.
A potato.
But I don't have a potato.
With 2
I don't have a
monitors.
potato. Yeah,
I
I don't
am
have a
running a
potato, though.
I am running a potato with 2 monitors. This is true.
Yeah.
All right, chat.
All right.
Hey, chat. New PC fund for Randy. Go.
Let's
Yeah,
do
the,
it.
the Kickstarter opens up on Saturday. The DM needs less of a potato. All right, so Ash or Rut. I don't even want to know what Filmy's chat just said.
I don't
They
want to know
didn't. They didn't. But all I could think of was your emote going, "You took my potato, you swine."
either. That is
I'm
perfect.
surprised I didn't hear that the other night.
I know, right?
Oh no, you found out what vengeance. I literally okay. So to give context to that situation, Sierra, you were standing in like the master bedroom at Tanglewood, right, in
I
Phasmo,
think so.
and I walk in with the tarot cards in my hand and asking, "Where's my potato?"
Oh god.
You said, "I don't know," and I drew a card. It was the tower, and then I said, "Where's my potato?" And you're like, "I don't know." I drew a second card. It was the death
said-
card.
At some point, I said, "Hold on,
Cards.
hold on. We can talk about this."
And at that point, I had already drawn like the devil, the tower, and then the death. I made it.
Goodness.
Did we ever get a clip of me just going, like, getting vacuumed out of the
No,
closet?
it is still the VOD is still posted on my channel. Tonight's session. Speaking of which, so Russ, with them being at the armor shop, is there any sort of armor you are looking for?
Well, he already has his leather tunic. What do
He does. You do have a leather that you and Lori had purchased in the first town.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that there's much else that you would like to get.
Other than a couple of other weapons, but those can.
Well, what
Sure,
kind
we
of
can
weapons
walk
are you
through the
looking
shop.
for?
I wanted to get him a small knife and a quarterstaff,
Okay.
and maybe a shield. But I might wait for that till once he gets Hexblade.
Do you have? I was gonna say if I think you need the shield proficiency for that, but
Yeah, that's gonna have to. I think that'll wait. That's just on my to-do list.
yes.
But yeah, he would want at least a small knife and quarterstaff.
That's not a knife.
Yep.
This
What
is
do you
annoying.
have?
That's a
knife.
knife.
No.
No.
Okay, I am gonna say that you are able to find one, and it is only apparently quarterstaffs are fairly cheap.
Yay!
You can find a quarterstaff for 2 gold pieces.
Nice. That will
The
do.
stats
You'll
for it
take
are the stats for it are it does 1d6 bludgeon damage upon a successful hit.
Alright, 1d6 bludgeon.
If anything, after the session, I can help you get that put into your character sheet, no problem. Are
Yeah,
you also
we
looking
have
for
other things.
Yeah. You also have, you said you're looking for a small knife.
Yes.
I'm going to assume dagger?
Yeah, he already has a dagger. This would be an even smaller knife. Just for more
an even smaller
fine
knife.
Yeah, for more fine tasks.
Give the vampire a
Okay.
butter knife.
Actually,
He will stab you with the butter knife. He will find a way.
I'm actually going to give you a... Unfortunately, this is going to be a little bit more expensive. I am going to say that you have spoken with some of the medical buildings. You know, you were talking with that shopkeep in the bookstore. He probably knows the town quite well. Probably.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in acquiring a surgeon supply kit?
That would probably be a good idea.
That is what I would definitely say. It would contain things like scalpels, saws, basically things that you would need to just, if you're looking for a small knife. I assume it's not for combat, it's more for not combat.
Yeah.
Okay. That is, however, going to be a little bit more expensive. That is going to be 75 gold pieces.
Oh, goodness me. Yet it can
You
have so
you
many
were
uses
given
for everybody.
you were given 100 gold pieces at the Spy Master's home.
Yeah.
So that would leave you with 25 from that 100 gold that was
Yeah.
given to you, provided Ember didn't take all 600.
I
Typical.
bargained, and the guy said no. So
But I've also been keeping track of my gold and yeah, things. But
That's
yeah,
fair. I assume I'm gonna say that I have faith in keeping track
you're
of
cutting out.
gold.
Yeah.
you're cutting
I'm
out
gonna
big time.
yeah. Damn it.
Dang it!
Dang
Yeah, kind of.
it.
I'm gonna say, is that a bit better?
We'll know as you go, really.
Yeah,
Well, is
it's
it better
kind of
for
hit or
right now? Is
miss.
what I mean.
Yeah.
It's better for the moment, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, as long as it's consistent for. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna change it right now then.
Wow.
So we're doing it live.
Doing it live.
Dang straight. Yes, he would spend 75 on the surgeon supply kit purely because it would be useful for many, many,
Okay.
many, 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 many things.
That's a lot better now.
Yes.
Much
Oh
better.
my goodness, yes.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Awesome. I literally did the same thing that I did prior, and I changed my mic to my headset on my headphones as opposed to my camera. It still looks
Awesome.
like it's coming through on my OBS the same.
But
Yeah,
yes,
sounds good.
yes, that is a relief. Now, basically, also helps that Russ doesn't really have a shopping list now outside of eventually getting stuff for when he's a Hexblade.
Yeah. The good thing about Hexblade is you'll also be able to summon and unsummon a weapon,
Mm-hmm.
which actually does say,
Oh,
Ash,
so
is there
cool.
anything you're looking for purchasing?
I don't think so.
I do understand that because you are an Owlin, you do have restrictions on arm size,
Yeah,
and you're a sorcerer.
yeah. I'm really restricted.
Yeah, because you would lose your ability to fly if you took any armor above light, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know.
Meanwhile, Russ just plops his tunic on her, and she's just kind of. I expect you just standing there like, "Are you serious?"
Is that applied to
That would look
mage armor
ridiculous.
and like magic armor too?
No, mage armor doesn't have a weight.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the one benefit, is that mage armor doesn't have any sort of weight associated with it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Oh, I did get a message from Teddy about looking for one more item. But I will help with that. Where is it? Surgeon supplies. So yes, I will give you the sheet for surgeon supplies afterwards.
Awesome.
I'm assuming after you guys are done all of your shopping.
I have one more thing, actually.
Yeah, of course.
Would the leather worker have any, like, random scraps of leather he would sell me? Like, he, cut too much, or there's some offcuts, or like little strands of leather that you could, like, weave together, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say definitely. How much are you looking for? I'm gonna say he's got combinations of little patches of leather, things, long strips that could be made into laces or strapping.
Like strapping, any kind of offcuts. Say 5 pounds worth of excess.
5 pounds worth?
Random cuts of leather. Yeah.
Yeah, he has about 4 pounds worth of leather scraps he can sell you. He's very reasonable about it. He says the whole thing would probably be. I can grab my big scary dice. 20 gold, 20
5.
silver pieces. 20 silver
Okay.
pieces for everything.
Okay. I'll take it.
So that's 4 pounds of leather scraps. It's gonna be, I'm saying, just because it's a nice round numbers, 2 and 2. So 2 things of like sort of patches and pieces, about 6 inches or so. And then
Okay.
some string or leather cord that's gonna be about, I'd say, 2 feet total. And let's see, there's the thing that
2 feet. And that was how much silver?
20.
20 silver.
Yeah, it basically, he's just trying to sell off his at that point. So he's like, I can't ask for a gold piece for any of this.
Okay.
All right,
That's what I
Ash, you
needed.
said you weren't looking for anything. So, is there anything else aside from the chest plate that you purchased? I'm gonna say that right nearby there is a shop that sort of sells weapons or anything else you might be looking for.
I guess Soot can wander over and see if there's anything she can upgrade from her dagger. See if there's like a better option, since the ones they got in the starting town was pretty basic.
I'd say at this point you're mostly just gonna find the same things. You're gonna find daggers. You're gonna find maybe like a short sword.
It's
It
a little
also depends
difficult
on-
to have weapons that are the same size as her, so she's mostly just looking for daggers. Do
I'm gonna say
spell scrolls
there's
exist
also-
outside of Baldur's Gate?
They do, spell scrolls do exist. They are, however, you also have to have knowledge of that spell existing. I will say that there
Okay.
is a bit of an, like, what you assume the bookstore may have some scrolls, but I'm gonna say, given Russ's interaction with them, if Russ has shared his interaction with the bookstore owner, you don't assume that they have much. You would
Okay.
need to find someone from like a mage's guild or something like that to look for spell scrolls.
Okay. Then she's just gonna kind of wander around, but not really purchase anything.
Is there a
Alright.
mages guild in town?
There is a mage's guild in town. You were told that there is a mage's guild, a fighter's guild, as well as the third circled guild that you weren't too sure of.
Okay.
Question. What is
Yes.
the probably the status quality where it said around the scimitar that Russ looted? Like, goodness, was it last 2 sessions ago? Yeah.
I can tell you that. Just give me 1 second.
Yep.
Great axe, Grand Mall, Morningstar, Pike, Scimitar. Okay. You wanted to know the quality or the stat?
Just the status. Like, is it? How is it doing? Is it in good shape or?
It's it's ready to see combat. It's clearly not one of the more expensive items out there, but it certainly, if you wanted to get into a fight with, would do just fine.
Would there be anything that would be like an upgrade from it that he could potentially sell the scimitar probably for a lower price and then buy something that's a little better? Would there be something?
Well, I will tell you that if you try to say Smith, get 20 pieces for it.
Can you say again?
You would get.
Yes, it was
Oh,
50.
sorry. You would get 20 gold pieces for the scimitar.
Mm-hmm. And what else would
if
you
you-
find in to replace it, though?
To replace it, that's the same price or lower.
Just a better sword in general. Will they have better swords than what he's already got?
Yep, as I said, they do have short swords. They have some not so short swords. The not so short swords come in various ranges from great sword, long sword. You also have to remember whether or not your character is proficient in the use of martial weapons or not.
Yeah, he's using he just has proficiency in simple weapons for now. So I'm trying to decide if I should just sell it off and get another later.
I will say that the scimitar is a martial weapon.
Mm-hmm.
What qualifies under simple weapons would be things like clubs, daggers, great clubs, hand axes, which I believe you do have a hand axe.
And I have daggers, yeah.
Javelins, light hammers, maces, quarterstaffs, sickles, and spears.
Yeah, I think unless anybody else in the party really wants it, I think I might just sell it off for the time being.
Sure. If you want to sell it off, the guy, he kind of begrudgingly looks at you, looks at this, and kind of just... He doesn't want to ask questions of where you got it, but he does... You do notice that he is selling scimitars for a higher price. Typical pawn shop rules. You're not going to get the same price he's trying to get for it.
And Russ just kind of accepts that. Does anybody else in the party want it
No.
before he does sell it off?
So I would say that this scimitar is probably about half your size.
Yeah, Soot is proficient with many, many weapons. She can't actually use most of them without tripping over them.
I would absolutely love to see Soot come out swinging with a great club.
Oh goodness.
Because
She
the
is
weight of it,
proficient in clubs.
the weight of a great club, by the way, is 10 pounds.
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh, if she misses, she's just going into the dirt. A
Mind
spear
you,
would be
it's-
hilarious.
A spear is 3 pounds. Oh, by the way, Russ, your quarterstaff is 4 pounds.
Okay, 4 pounds.
Yes. I know I'm not super over the top regarding weights, but if your character weighs 150 pounds and you're carrying 200 pounds of equipment, I might have a problem with that.
Yeah, we could go over that at post session. So I do want
Exactly.
things.
Yeah.
According to my
I-
equipment sheet, I'm currently carrying like 70 pounds of equipment, and I do not know how accurate that is.
I will definitely help you with that afterwards if you want.
Now that you're back, Filmy, would Ember have wanted the scimitar before Ruskit sells it?
I'd like to point out, Ember already has a glaive, a great sword, and a great axe.
Hey, I asked Filmy like two sessions ago, and he said he wanted it, but I decided to keep it.
Filmy is one weapon away from Ember having to take disadvantage on every roll ever.
Wow. Why?
I'll take that as a
Because
no then.
Because you are carrying 4 weapons that total over 100 pounds.
Oh,
This
okay.
is why he wants the bag of holding.
Well, I'm proficient with all of these, so...
You have to pick one. You can't use all 4 at once.
He certainly
Yeah, but then if
can.
I... What?
Good.
Oh, you
It's
certainly
gonna look
could
like
use all
Zorro
4.
from One Piece.
And just a spear in the teeth, sword in each hand, that kind of thing.
Swiss
Is this the-
Army Genasi.
If Ember was to hold a knife, would he hold it this way or this way? Is it like the goose meme?
Oh gosh.
I know.
I'm good. I don't need it.
Okay, then he'll
All right.
sell it off
So, yes.
for however much he gets.
All right.
I
Awesome.
also didn't know I had
I-
a great axe. I've got a glaive and a great sword and a short bow in my
Oh,
inventory.
sorry, yeah, short bow. That's the other one.
So he would get 20 gold for it, probably.
You would get 20 gold for that for sure.
All right, that will do. Yay. 'cause we have to
All
find
right.
gold again.
So with that, I'm assuming you guys are all gonna head to the inn that you're all staying at.
I actually kind of want to hang back. What time of day is it roughly?
I would say you guys did just wake up. You went to the Thieves Guild. After the Thieves Guild, when you left, you realized that you probably spent a couple hours in there. You don't know how or what you were doing, but time just kind of seemed to slip by for you guys. Everybody else who was
That's not
outside of
freaky
the
at
Thieves,
all.
it happens. Russ, you were very heavily enthralled in the bookstore, and you don't know how long what you heard happened for. Lori is just having the time of their lives, like singing for the people on the streets and just having gold thrown at them. I've actually rolled 2 more times for
Oh,
Lori
gosh.
to see how much they've actually earned. And I need to make sure to make a note that Lori has now earned a total of 47 gold
Goodness
Dang.
sakes! Nice.
just from standing around this entire time singing to the people that walk by.
Wonderful.
Lori
We're
didn't even
never
have
gonna.
to-
We're never
Lori
gonna be
didn't even
poor
have
again.
to turn in it. They didn't even have to turn in anything to the Thieves Guild to get the same amount.
Love it.
But they didn't get to learn Thieves' Cant.
No, they did not.
No.
And neither did,
No.
unfortunately, neither did Russ or Ash.
But does Russ really need it? He's got.
Russ, you are right. Russ technically does not need it. Russ is actually very, Russ can read everything. However, if they were to speak it, you would not understand it. You can
He would
only
be
read
like-
the symbols.
He'd be like,
How do
"Are
you speak
okay?
symbolism?
Are you okay? Did you hurt your head a little bit?"
Yeah,
Who are
kind
you
of.
asking?
And you don't
Anybody's-
say anything, but look what I just sent in DMs.
Okay. I won't say anything, I promise.
Ooh. Sneaky, sneaky.
Much sneak. Very concerned.
What? Damn, that looks good.
Hey, shush.
You said not.
Is this
say anything
another slice of
specific.
cheese?
I said say not say anything. Jeez. I didn't say
this-
specific. No,
So-
I'm picking.
But
Crow,
But
have a good
Russ-
night. Crow says good night.
Russ would tell everybody
Crow.
what it is, that he found his other book in the store, and that he got this, and that he got the soul gem, and probably vibrating with excitement over both of the finds.
What's a soul gem?
And Russ
Ember's
would
asking.
then probably Russ would probably explain what a soul gem is, and he'd probably take about 2 hours if you didn't cut him off early.
Wait, does he
I was-
show
I-
the soul gem while this is happening?
Very discreetly.
Oh, I got one of those, and pulls out the very, very dirty soul gem from the bottom of her pocket.
And then Russ quickly gets her to pocket again, quickly saying, "It's expensive. We don't want other thieves on the way.
You mean I can sell this for money?
Don't do that.
No.
Don't. Just keep it. Keep it."
Oh, you're more than welcome to do that if you'd like.
I mean, I don't know if you saw in the chat, but she very nearly turned it into a slingshot projectile because
I
yeah,
saw
right.
that.
know what
I
else
was
she could
actually, I was so happy to see that. I'm like, you don't want to know how much they cost.
But yes,
I want
Russ
to
would be
know.
trying to emphasize that these are hard to get a hold of. They are expensive, but they're also extremely useful in Magic for many, many things. Hang on to it, and don't use it as a paperweight.
Hopefully this works. Do.
It's very shiny. So it tries to polish off the dirt.
But he also does mention that the shopkeep did tell him
Yep,
something
no,
a
that
little
went to
bit.
everybody. Let's hide that.
Yep.
Actually, you all can see that just fine. I don't even care. The ones that you have
Dang.
roughly estimated are about 1,000 gold each.
Goodness sakes.
I mean, if
They're
we're
like
ever broke.
Six.
They are also not the highest tier.
Wow. I don't even want to think about the highest tier is.
Isn't 1,000 gold a one platinum?
No, 100 are. I think it's 100 gold are 1 platinum.
Okay, so
10
10
whole
platinum.
platinum.
That's cool.
The street
Um,
urchin in Soot is like $15
Vibrating.
signs.
Yeah, pretty much. You just have like these dragon symbols in your eyes. Like, yes.
Goodness.
If you would like to know the cost, I will actually ask anybody to roll or Arcana or let's say history.
All of them?
Anybody, if you want to know how much
Ah.
the highest tier that you've ever may have heard of.
Oh, now you decide to be knowledgeable on stuff.
Oh, being a street urchin, you fully know and have heard of, but you've heard of them in stories of rich millionaires having these things, and you know that the highest tiers go for tens of thousands of gold. And the most expensive ones could go for anywhere of 100 of thousands of gold.
And that goes straight back into the bottom of Seth's pocket because she is not leaving that out where it can get stolen.
That's fair. Feel me? I was gonna say, Ember gets the same knowledge, knowing the exact thing. Soul gems may have actually been something that was talked about in the temples that you studied in and grew up in.
Nice.
Interesting.
You know, Russ has just read about them. He doesn't really care about the cost. He just cares about the usability.
Yep, the usability of these things, they are incredibly, like, they are almost mandatory in enchanting equipment.
Nice.
Alright, so and it's Azizi already knows what soul gems are.
Yes. But Russ would also bring up that the shopkeeper asked him something very strange before going back to his work. He asked if he heard the voice of the secret keeper. And if anybody has any idea what that meant.
Secret keeper. Like the spy
Alright.
master?
And Russ just shrugs.
Ember,
Would I know anything of that?
roll religion.
Like a really good
Just
friend.
Give me 1 second. I'm taking a note.
Unfortunately, Azizi it goes right over their head. They rolled a 2.
Aww.
Azizi is just looking at the birds and butterflies kind of floating around, just Kinda just-
There's a lot of butterflies in this town, okay?
there is a lot of butterflies in this town. I think it's being so close to the river.
You said religion?
I said religion.
16.
16.
Nice.
The name Secret Keeper sort of perks your ears up a little bit. You remember hearing stories of the gods of this land and thinking to yourself, Secret Keeper. It draws parallels, and all you can think of is secrets, knowledge, questions. But you paid very little attention to that while you were learning and studying under the Temple of Artemis. But something about forbidden knowledge just sort of crosses your mind.
Okay.
And that's all you remember.
Okay.
I would say, do you choose to tell everyone else about that, or are you?
I want to keep it to myself for a little while longer.
Perfect. Okay. A good question. We did say that Ember did know that Soot was casting magic, or casting detect magic inside. Soot, it's actually your decision. Did you tell Ember about what you noticed? I will also say that once again, as you guys left the Thieves Guild earlier, the faces, the people you spoke to, everything still feels kind of like trying to remember a dream. You know what you all spoke about. You know your pockets are heavier with gold. But you can't remember the faces of anybody you spoke to still. But I will say that your detect magic, you do remember every instance of that, and it's up to you whether you tell Ember about that.
Toots was kind of unnerved by the whole thing. She isn't going to say it out unless she's asked.
Okay.
Because that is stuff
Alright,
that she just does not meddle in.
That's
It
fair.
doesn't feel like a question for out in the open. Oh, yeah.
Which is fair.
There's always people listening.
Always.
I'm
Meanwhile,
watching you,
she's just going around
Wazowski.
yelling about the spy master.
Always watching.
Yeah, pretty much.
Always watching, Wazowski. Always watching.
Just wait until you meet, magical Wazowski, the Beholder.
Oh gosh. Goodness.
So you a fan of volleyball?
Probably.
Do I want to know
would
what
be
the beholder is?
It's the giant blob with the 8 eyes.
I guess.
Oh gosh.
alright.
whose
What should
base
be our next-
attacks. Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you guys do now? It's
What's
about. I
next?
will say it is just starting to be the early afternoon. I will also say that you guys, anything that you have ordered from the tannery, is you guys can check back. He's kind of surprised that you showed up a little bit early, but he will begrudgingly just kind of work on your equipment while you guys are discussing things with yourself. Russ has told you the story regarding the soul gem, and everything seems good so far. But yes, you guys now have your new equipment. Ember has your backpack, and so you do now have your leather armor.
Yay!
Yay.
Where's that stabby?
Stab, stab.
Yes?
Think maybe they check out one of the other guilds. They've already got one down. We got like 2 more to go potentially.
Yeah. Do you have
Ember
guys
is
have
going
anyone in
to.
mind?
Ember's going to kind of sneak off on his own and go towards
Okay.
one of the giant mushrooms.
Of course.
Adventure.
I'm gonna say the giant mushrooms are just slightly outside of the town wall. You are still fully well within the sight of the town lights, and you can even still see the people bustling around. But you do find these mushrooms. These mushrooms appear to be roughly 25 to 10, between 10 and 25 feet tall.
Okay.
And what would you like to do to said mushroom?
Oh God, what a question.
It's a loaded
Leave it.
question. That's a loaded question. I know, right?
Eat it.
Is there?
Don't eat the giant mushroom, please.
Please no.
Do I?
We do not want you
Maybe
taking
it's
50
friendly.
damage.
Is there any signs around it of recent druid interaction? Is there anything I can deduce about the circle around, or?
Oh no, this mushroom is about the same height as a tree. You do see
Okay.
a single mushroom, but as you notice out further into the plains, the mushrooms sort of get taller and taller. By the way, the song that is now currently playing on the in-game audio is titled Mushroom Forest.
Nice.
Excellent.
Love it.
Planned, calculated.
A little bit, right? So you are now sitting underneath this giant mushroom. What you do notice is it looks like it has grown there naturally. There does appear to be further ones more out. They start becoming a little bit thicker, almost like a mushroom forest.
Okay.
But you can certainly understand now why the Tanner has told you that the druids in the area are the Circle of the Spore.
Right.
Sorry.
So, because of
Anything
Shelter
else?
of the
Anything you'd like-
Faithful,
Yep.
because of Shelter of the Faithful, through Artemis, I would be able to befriend most druids, right?
You would, providing you are in one of their holy sites. I know druids don't typically have temples, they don't have churches, but you would have to identify an area. This is a sacred circle area for them.
Okay. Can I leave a note or something there? Just saying, follower of Artemis is looking for
Does Ember know Druid?
access to a holy
That-
site.
That is a very good point Soot brings up. Do you know Druidic?
I don't.
You snuck away from someone who did.
I will point out, yes, you do have a druid in your party.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to leave a note. I would suggest leaving it in common. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of like take a piece of parchment out of my paper, out of my newly acquired backpack. Hey.
Yes.
And burn in, or like inscribe in the corner the symbol of Artemis, and just leave a little note. It's like, you know, I'm trying to find access to a holy site for reasons, whatever. I haven't fully thought this through yet.
That's her.
And I want to roll it up and like tuck it underneath a rock at the base of the giant mushroom and hope somebody finds it.
Okay.
And then I'll return to the party, wherever they are.
Regarding the question that Russ asked earlier, he's probably gonna have to scour his books for Secret Keeper and see if there's anything in there. But until then, Mages Guild.
You want to go to the Mages Guild?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Anybody want to go with?
Lori's been by herself for a while. I'm gonna go keep her company, make sure nothing happens. So it kind of heads off towards the distant sound of music.
Some.
We're gonna come back to two drunk short people just singing "Faded Love" or something.
I, for a second, my brain said you're gonna come back to two short people singing "Tainted Love," and I'm like, that would be freaking awesome. I don't know why. Sure. I'm gonna say that you guys are all gonna be taking a short rest. I know none of you have used any spells or anything like that, but I am also looking at the timer, and we're at 3.5
Seth actually
hours
did.
now.
Yeah.
Yep, I know you should have all taken a long rest at this point. I am gonna say though that you all sort of kind of regather just for a little bit. Lori's been playing her music, but they've kind of gotten bored of their song list and may have come back to where you guys all are.
Awesome.
And actually, I'm gonna say, Ember, they did notice you walk off out of the town gate. And before you have a chance to return to the party, this is another text from Teddy. Azizi recommends that maybe we should all sit and just take a nice lunch together.
Okay.
And Russ quickly comments, "Don't worry, nobody's in my lunch. I promise."
No one we know.
Lol. Lol.
Exactly. No one we know.
At this point, Azizi looks at you and says with their typical self, "Well, darling, don't forget, you do have those 2 extra vials."
I know. I was trying to be a good joke. It didn't work.
And at this point, they just kind of put a hand on your shoulder and just, "I'll make sure that I laugh next time."
He just shrugs. Just only laugh when it's funny. I'll learn. Maybe.
And with this short rest, I am going to say that you all are going to level up.
Hey!
What?
But we are also going to end the session here for this week. While you all get to do your level ups, I'm going to be ending out my stream, but if anybody needs to hang around for ups afterwards, let me know and I'll help you right now.
Hey, you know me.
Yeah.
Do we
But
want to?
Yep.
Do we want to roll anything live, or do we want to save that for next time?
It's up to you. I'll keep my stream going if you guys want to roll it live. If you guys don't, we fine.
I got a 7.
Roll for the level up.
Yeah, it would be like roll. Well, you guys are all going to be hitting level 3 now, which is actually a pretty big level.
I've got to finish my oath.
Yay.
Jeez.
You do need to finish your oath.
Meanwhile, we have calming mushroom music.
Kind of what I was expecting. So.
It is this music is incredibly calming, by the way.
It is.
By the way, the music that was actually playing in the basement, I will let all of you hear into the jukebox. The name of the song that I actually have is from the same tabletop RP. It's called Halfling Heist.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah. So it was interesting. I had Halfling Heist playing while you guys were in the level 3.
Cool.
My session
Level
4.
3. Level 3. Level 3.
Since we have a lot of things to not break on my sheet and fix on my sheet, we could probably just do those after everybody else is taken care of.
All right. as I said, I'll be around
Yeah.
basically until I have to go pick Teddy up from work. But yeah, so
I wanna
everybody
go-
who came out to this.
I want to go ahead and
I'm
roll my
gonna-
hit die. What do I roll for that?
I'm gonna end
here,
my stream and send it out.
All right,
Alrighty.
I'm gonna be ending mine too. So thank you guys all for coming out to the stream. If you're watching this in the future, again, greatly appreciated. This is the Party Animals, and I guess we'll roll with it. So hope you guys enjoyed. Take care.
Nice
Bye.
stream.
Bye.
Bye.
I want to raid out to evil, I think.
And I'm clear.
Yay.
I am muted and trying to figure out how the raid thing works again.
Are you using it just through OBS specifically?
I was gonna try and use OBS, but it wasn't autofilling people's usernames. So let me try this.
It is very tricky to do the raid out from OBS. I highly recommend opening up a browser window and raiding out from the Twitch dashboard from the website on like an internet browser.
Oh wait,
Or-
wait! I have that up on my phone.
If you have it up on your phone, it's actually even easier because on your stream manager page, it should actually have a
Catch y'all later,
button.
everybody. Thanks for hanging out. We're gonna go
The
say hi to
only
Evil
problem
with-
Ocean.
The only problem with doing it that way is it will take 90 seconds to raid out.
And catch y'all later.
That sounds fine by
Bye.
me. I think Elwin is
I think Elle's still
Live?
live. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. Let's go. I am
So-
reading out with a whole one person.
Nice.
I turned my phone screen off. That's probably why it stopped. I've been literally lurking in your.
Been lurking in everyone's streams.
I appreciate that. I actually like as I was actually saying this